One. Okay. All right. Now we're good. All right, guys. What's going on? It is I, your SGW guy. We are here tonight with another edition of Outside the Box Live. It's that time of week again. Thank you all for coming. We got Mike here with me as a co-host. FP is not going to be here tonight. He has some things going on. So FP will not be joining us tonight. Hopefully he will be back with us next week. But we might have Fred P coming on again from last week. I sent him.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to have to send him the link again because I sent it through email. But yeah, he emailed me during the week. And he said, hey, can I be part of this? I'm like, oh, absolutely. Actually, he emailed me this morning. And so tonight, just figure open mic, whoever you want to talk about. If you have a topic you want to talk about, we're good to go.
Actually, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say I almost didn't join up with you tonight. I've been having issues. I'm taking gabapentin for nerve damage, and today it's just absolutely destroying me. I've done nothing but sleep all day. I get up, I make food, I fall asleep. I wake up, I watch TV for a little bit, fall asleep. It's just can't stay awake today. So I was actually napping right before I threw this cut off sleeve hoodie on.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and yeah, stay as long as you want. Like I said, you're welcome to come every week if you want.
Thank you. Yeah. It's fun, so I'm sure I will.
How you doing, Susan? If you just tuned in, FP will not be here tonight. He has some things going on, so hopefully we'll see him next week. And for those of you also, Skeeter's no longer with the show. That's fine. He's gonna do his own thing now, so we wish him the best of luck. So moving forward tonight, we got Mike here in the co-host chair, and we might have Fred coming on. I sent him the link to join, so hopefully he will be here with us. So let's see what I was going to talk about. Oh, last night I was in. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Last night I went down to 52 in Plymouth. Have you ever been down there?
What is it?
Called Rock 52.
Nah.
It's
maybe. I mean, I used to hang around. You're talking like Main Street, Plymouth.
Yeah, it's now a pizzeria, Italian restaurant pizzeria. And
I was gonna say maybe I knew it as something different, maybe like 30 years ago, and somebody had to drag me out of there and throw me in the back seat of a car or something. But no, not within recent memory. So
it's
sorry.
So it's a pizza joint. Well, Italian restaurant, they have like pizza. They have, you can get like, Italian dishes like spaghetti and everything else. So I got their Hawaiian style pizza last night. Let me tell you, I know a lot of people say, oh, here, Fred, hold on. I sent it to your email, but yeah, here it is. Right here, Fred, you could join us. There you go.
Just so you're aware, Fred, you're also going to be simulcasting on my channel as well, which is the Ghetto Theater of Wilkes-Barre.
Nice.
And I'm watching some theatrics out there right now. I got monitors above me that show me the street.
Gotcha. So you're set up pretty good there.
Oh God, yeah. You got to come over and see the place sometime, man. I'm right on North Main Street.
Yeah, definitely. Oh wait, yep. Okay, we got Fred popping in. There we go. What's up, Fred?
Hey, you're like
going on?
You're boxular this week, man. Like last week, you were like all, the narrow screens. That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was a little discombobulated last week, so I'm on my A game tonight, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Jay.
Oh, you're well. Anytime, man. Anytime you want to come on, no, just hit me up for the link.
Thanks, brother. So you went to Rocks 52.
I did. What's going on, Mark? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Um, I don't know, Fred, if you caught, FP won't be here tonight. He has some things going on.
Oh, okay.
Skeeter's no longer part of the show, so he's going to do his own thing. Which, all the luck to him. Best of luck to him.
Okay.
So things, sometimes things must come to an end and start anew. Um, but yeah, I went to Rocks 52 last night, and you walk in, and the owners, they talk. I think it's I would say Italian. I don't know what language they speak, but like it was mostly like Italian with broken English, but they're Hawaiian style pizza. All right, now I know when I put the video up, people are gonna say, "Oh, Hawaiian pizza." They had it. They had everything diced.
I'm one of those people.
And this was very good. And so I'm sitting there doing the video, and then the waitress was coming over. Are you doing the video? I'm like, yep, I'm this, da 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 da, and tell her the whole deal. Well, here at the end of the night, I was getting ready to leave. The owner brings out this dessert, like looked like mini mozzarella sticks, but they were with dough, like with powdered sugar, drizzled with chocolate. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Rocks 52 if anyone's watching, because the one girl took my YouTube channel, and so if they're watching, your video is gonna be up next week. I had a great time. Thank you to the owner for for that dessert. It was amazing. Okay. Before we get into anything really, I want to take a moment. Jancy, he a couple days ago he had surgery. I'm not sure what kind of surgery, but he texted me a couple hours ago saying he's gonna be watching from his hospital bed. So, Jance, best wishes. Get well soon. From all of us here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Wishing you good health, Jancy.
Mark, what's up? Got some good. Mark put. I don't know if you can see the chat. Mark put, "What's up? Got some good salve for my knees from my CBD certificate." Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, that's right. You did win a certificate. I forgot about that. Yeah, a while back, there's a CBD shop in West Pittston. Well, it's on the border of West Pittston and Exeter. It's over near Garrity's, over like near the Wyoming area field, and it's called the CBD shop of Northeast PA, I believe it is. And he sponsored a show about a month now back, and he gave us $100 gift certificate to give to whoever won. We had we did something where we gave it away, and so yeah, it was Mark who won that, and yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Mark.
Okay, is that by the old West Pittston Chinese buffet? Now it's like the Asian cafe.
It's in the it's
in the shopping center.
It's in the shopping center part, yeah, but yeah, correct. Yeah, it's cool. That Asian place though, that was pretty good too. They remodeled it real nice. The new owners.
Yeah, that's on my list. Definitely want to try that place. Anytime something new, like Asian fusion kind of place pops up, it's like, yeah, we gotta get there.
Yeah, and Susan, I hope your husband's doing good too. I know he had some things going on as well. It's yeah, we're getting older. Things are happening. But I want to thank. Right now we have 14 strong. Thank you all for watching. And if you guys like the show some support by clicking that QR code. That helps. That helps us go out and do food reviews. That helps us with gas when we go on adventures. Let's see. The nurses come here every other day now since. Now, Susan, is your husband home, or is he still in the nursing home, or is he at like, is he home? What's with you since last week, there, guys? What's been going on?
Who, me?
Same old, man. Same old stuff.
Both of you.
Well, I'm sure you saw on Facebook, a lot of people did. I got a rollator to help me get around work. If you don't know what a rollator is, it's like a walker with wheels.
Yeah,
and you can it has like a folding bench. And if anything's going to make you feel like an old person, it's owning something like that.
When I worked for MMAI for Medicare, Medicaid.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about this. I was sorry. I remember we were talking about because you actually knew what one was last week. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, when I used to work for Medicare, Medicaid for Illinois, it was called MMAI, and I get a lot of calls, and that's how I knew what one, because I get a lot of calls saying, "Oh, I'm glad he's home, Susan," and can I get a rollator? Well, yeah, we'll cover it. Here's I'd have to go in and find out where one was close to her. Blah 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 blah. But at first, I'm like, a rollator, so I actually went online to look and see what this thing was. I'm like, there you go, and Medicare will have an open enrollment within the next 2 months. That'll be joy. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, it's try working with it from the government end. When we get thousands upon thousands of applications, and people, you know what, actually, being a federal employee, I can't go too deep into it. But it's an interesting challenge every year. I was actually hired into the agency I work for, Social Security. I can say that. I was hired at the agency initially to work with Medicare D.
Yes. Well, now I'm with it's Blue Cross Association. It's called BCA for short. And last year, if you were on Blue Cross, if you were on their FEP Blue, their commercial drug plan,
I've heard of it.
They automatically took you and put you into the Medicare FEP program. Now, last year, Blue Cross sent out letters around October saying, "Hey, this is going to happen. If you want to opt out of this and stay where you're at, call us before January 1st." Well, a lot of people didn't realize or understand. So they go to get their medicine and they're like, "Why isn't this covered?" Well, because now you're on Medicare, not Blue Cross. And it's a big headache. But glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. I can just say, "Oh, let me get rid of the help desk. Transfer. There you go."
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to make a public service announcement here. I'm sure all of you out there have seen commercials that are funded and done by AARP, and where AARP literally says, "And remember, Social Security will never ever call you." That's crap. We do. If you send us a form, and that's what I do, I process forms. If you send us a form and you neglect to answer a question, you give conflicting information, you write a letter requesting to be contacted. If you write on the form, "If you have any questions, please call me." Well, it's like, yes, I have questions. I'm going to call you. And I'm going to say, "Hi, I'm Mike. I work with Social Security." Yes, I really do. Believe me. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there for whomever is watching right now. We do call you. It's not always a scam. But it's usually in reference to it. We're not going to call you about benefit readjustments or something. It's usually if you send us a form, you may get a phone call about that form. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. And PSA/PSA is complete.
Awesome. Well, that's good for everybody to know. See, Susan, I hate to say this, but the writing's on the wall. Someday we might have to go to a nursing home. I'm gonna try to be a pain and live. I don't blame you. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Speaking of scams, I don't know if you guys saw it this week. There was a local story, if I get it right here. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it was, I think, an elderly person who fell for some kind of scam. It was one of those like go out and buy like a dozen gift cards and then
Was this
send
the
me
guy?
the codes.
The guy impersonating the Bee Gees?
Barry Gibb. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I thought, I mean, I feel terrible, for someone like falling for that, but that's a new one. Like, hi, this is Barry Gibb. Go buy a dozen gift cards and send me the codes. I'm like,
If there's,
okay.
I watch on YouTube. There's a couple called Fraud or no.
Is it
Scammer
like
Payback.
scammers payback?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Scammer Revolts, and there's another one called Kiboga. Some
Yeah.
like if you're not familiar with the mic, they just like screw with scammers. They just
I do that for free.
Well, that's what. Well, they're probably got monetized by now, but like they'll have like a virtual machine. So if the scammer does something, it's not gonna wreck the computer. They just reset it and they're good to go. And but this one, he goes by Kippo. Like he can throw his voice. Like he uses a voice changer machine, but he can make him sound like an old man, and people think he's an old man, and like he will just screw with these scammers for like an hour upon hour, and just to tighten them so they're not scamming anybody else. But it's
I do voices.
It's or like he'll let him connect to the he'll have his virtual machine set up like he has a fake bank, a spoof bank account, everything like it looks like legit. So the scammer will connect to his computer and say like he only has like $5 in his account, and then like, oh, we can't like they'll play. Oh, we can't send you your refund. And he's like, well, why not? That's my account. Do you have any other bank accounts? Like, no. Like it's some of the stuff, but when you think about it, when we talk about scammers, people are falling for this, and people are going out buying gift cards, thinking that they're protecting whatever, and these people are like, most of them are over. I think in India, overseas, and it's just how much they're getting. They're stealing like, and once you put the money on a gift card, and you get it's
gone.
Yeah. Yeah. To Jay's point, so Mike, the one guy, it might be scammers payback. Like he puts his voice through like guitar effects pedals, so he'll get like a fuzz box, and he'll like morph his voice, and the scammer will reach out to him. It's very entertaining and satisfying too. Like if you've ever been scammed at all in your life, like
I would just be like, Social Security. Social
Yeah.
Security. What is Social Security you want with me? But I would get people like I would get the IRS was calling me all the time, and I saw on my caller ID back when it was like a phone and like a little box with a caller ID.
Oh, those.
And the caller ID box would say Washington D.C. And I automatically said to the guy, I'm like, okay, this is IRS headquarters. Yes, this is IRS headquarters. In Washington, D.C. Yes, in Washington. IRS headquarters isn't located in Washington, D.C. It's located in, oh God, now it slips my mind. Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City is actually the location like for their headquarters, their main deal is Kansas City, Missouri. So it's like, once I said that, the guy hung up. And then I called him back. And then he hung up. And then like I kept calling him. I'm like, dude, I want to know what's wrong. You're the IRS. Tell me. And I basically harassed him for about an hour until he left his phone off the hook.
Susan put up, I like to mess with these scammers. I asked them if they believe in God and they're going to go to hell or for scamming people. Also, I tell them, House of Retired Hookers, how can I help you?
It's a good one.
Okay.
I'll get like Facebook messages from whoever. I'm just reaching out. I got mine. Did you hear of, blah, blah. I'm like, no, not interested. Oh, but I saw your name on their list. Well, how do I see their list? Oh, you have to contact it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. But there's people out there that fall for this.
Yeah.
And the best one, like, oh, you've won $100,000. Great. But you got to pay $400 to get it. No. No.
Yeah.
I always say, like, well, take it out of like the lottery does. Take it off the winnings. Oh, they can't do that. Oh, no.
I'm a legit lottery winner. That's how I bought this building. The lottery will deduct it from your winnings. They don't ask for anything up front. I won $44,000 back in 2019. Man. And after taxes, it was about $33,000.
Still,
cool.
So it's a chunk of change.
Yeah, like I said, I actually used it to buy this building. Like I was in a horrible situation. I was living with the woman I was divorcing I had just gotten my divorce was just finalized in 2019. My ex-wife was living 2 doors up the street in my ex-mother-in-law's home. So I'm literally at to see these people every day. I'm renting half a double block from my ex-mother-in-law's best friend. So you can imagine the tension.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, there are days when I'm just like ready to cry and all just like out of the blue, here's money, go hit the reset button, and that's exactly what I did. I took that money and just ran with it. And yeah, bought this building. Ended up that this building, my ex-wife, her great grandfather was born in this building and raised here.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of like I got the family. I was so in the right with this. The universe granted me the family ancestral home in the divorce. So,
wow. So Mike, was it, if you don't mind me asking, like, was it a scratch off? Was it like a pick 5 or something?
Treasure
like
hunt.
How did you treasure hunt? Okay.
Treasure hunt. Yeah, I've been playing the same numbers. I still play them. Ever since Treasure Hunt began, I've played the same numbers. They eventually hit.
Wow, dude.
I always say, if you want to leave an avenue, like the lottery's great for that. You want to leave an avenue for the universe to reward you when you do something well. And if you play the same lottery numbers, just pick a game, play the same numbers every week. Actually, I play every day, but I go and get them like a week at a time. I play Cash 5 and Treasure Hunt. Closest I ever got to Cash 5, I got 4 numbers on at one time and actually won the equivalent. At the time, I won the equivalent of a paycheck on those 4 numbers because it used to be a percentage. They changed it around now. But, yeah, that's, like I said, Columbus Day weekend 2019. I won Treasure Hunt. I was the sole winner of a $44,000 jackpot.
Damn, that's nice.
Man, that's awesome, dude.
Thanks. Yeah, I agree. It's not like, enough money to get into like major trouble with. Like you're found a year later, dead and bloated on a toilet in Vegas, totally broke. But at the same time, you know, it's like it was enough for me to actually change my life around and you know, buy into this place. Actually, be right back. The first thing I got. Oh,
That's not a bad little cash injection.
No,
you know,
not
little push up the pyramid, right? 44 grand. I mean, 30 something after taxes. Not bad.
money.
Yeah. Ooh.
This is a 1980. Yeah, 1980. Epiphone Genesis model.
Oh yeah.
And this was I had owned another iteration of this guitar, but I lost it in a car accident, and it was kind of like the universe gave it back to me.
Yeah.
So it was at Music Around at the time, and I was.
It looks like a semi-hollow, like an ES335, but is it like a solid body?
It's exactly. It's almost exact. It's a cross between a Les Paul and an SG.
Yeah, yeah.
It's solid body. I would say that it's kind of like having a Les Paul double cut.
Right.
Which I have.
Here, I'll tell you.
I have a couple Les Pauls up there too.
Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna disable my video. I want to get one of my guitars, Jay. If that's cool, I just want to show Mike one of my.
Oh, absolutely.
Guitars. Cool with
me.
Yeah, all right. Topic for the segment: guitars.
Give me a sec.
Which I know shit about, but you guys do.
Oh, you don't want to start me on guitars, man. No.
All right, we got looks like we got 16 strong. Thank you for all who's watching. And yeah, I did on my other screen. I clicked up. We are live on your channel too, which is great, which is awesome.
Yeah, it gave me the option to do it this week. It's like, do you want to add a channel? Yeah, sure. Oh, nice.
This is one of my many guitars. It's like a 20
Les Paul Studio.
Yeah, it's like a 2004 Gibson Les Paul Studio. It was on Facebook Marketplace about a year ago, and that's a dangerous place, man. Facebook Marketplace. I mean, like if you're just not really looking to buy things, but you're just scrolling, like there's just so much cool stuff, like Jay, like old soda machines, like old school stuff. And yeah, this was listed and I drove down to Allentown, I bought it, Yeah, very nice, Mike. Very nice.
Les Paul Les Paul Classic in Honeyburst.
Damn.
Les Paul Standard in Guitar Center exclusive Tri-Burst. And I don't know, let's see if we can catch the flame here.
Yeah.
It's
very
flame.
nice.
Thank you. I'm terrified. I'm terrified to play this one. I very rarely play it. First time it's been off the wall in probably 6 months.
I'm trying to baby this one because it has like a natural mahogany finish. That's kind of why I wanted this one, just because it's like a natural finish. But all my other guitars are banged up and hit them off the walls and stuff like that. This one I'm really trying to take care of. So, an SG, nice.
This is my player because I'm a huge AC/DC Black Sabbath fan. This is an SG standard.
Ooh.
And like I said, this is actually the only Gibson that I own that I paid full price for, and I bought all three of them brand new.
You guys want to start a band? The three of us, NFB.
Mark put. I don't know if you could see the chat. My brother and me were leaving Heinz Field after Pittsburgh upset the Fighting Irish. Parked at the casino and won $30,000 on a slot machine. That's awesome.
Cool.
Nice.
I've lost like $100 on slots. No, when I go to the casino, which is rare anymore, I'll do the blackjack table. I could usually at least break even. If not, when I usually end up breaking even, I'll get out before I start losing.
I've been to the casino maybe 3 times since it's opened. Maybe 4 or 5, including like, going to some kind of function or,
I used to work when
Sorry.
Arby's. No, you're good. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Walk in. After Arby's closed, and before the Scranton Arby's reopened, I worked for Johnny Rockets for like maybe 2 months.
I used to love that place.
And
excuse me.
Let me tell you, they put me on like the 9 at night to like 7 in the morning shift, and like I was like, ugh, I could not stand it. But the food at Johnny Rockets was pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
After I leave, after I leave, I go over and play the blackjack table, and I really haven't been there since then. It's like, yeah, no, I mean, I like it, but I like my money more. Like, well, you have to spend. Well, you do. You have to, you have to pay to play. But I'm like, yeah, it's better in my pocket than in theirs.
Yeah. Yep. How about like the horse races? Like, you guys follow like the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and stuff. Like,
I'm lost.
That's fun. Yeah. I mean, you could lose a lot of money on that, but it's fun.
I went on a trip with Jay, my old friend Rob Gingell.
Right.
He and I went. We took a day trip down to Allentown once, and we were bar hopping down there. Basically, this is like when we were 21, 22, and they had what's big in Allentown. What was big in Allentown at the time? I have no idea if it still is. Off-track betting. So a lot of the bars down there were off-track betting sites. And we kept just running into all this off-track betting. So it's like, all right, well, let's have some fun, take $5, and we try to have this guy, this hardcore looking gambling guy explain it to us. And he's just like, well, and he's like, now the odds here. And it's like, and then you want this horse here. And it's like, dude, I want to throw $5 on a horse and have a little rush while the thing runs around in a circle. I don't want the universal explanation to the gods of why this horse is going to, I don't need to know that the jockey's girlfriend is pregnant, and just what's a good horse for me to bet on, throw $5 on, and then he started going into another. It's like, you know what? I'm going back to the bar. I'm going to take my $5 and buy another drink. I'm good. Thanks.
It's like I remember when I did go to the casino, I have to laugh at like the little old ladies that'll have like they're like at their machine, and then they're putting money in the 2 machines like next to them. I had to laugh because one time I went to sit down, she's like, no, I'm playing. I'm like, well, you're there. Oh, well, I'm doing this with 2. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know, And, man, they get like those old ladies get into that big time.
What it is, the psychology of that is that the machine is going to pay out. If you throw enough in,
it will pay out.
It becomes your machine because that machine's going to pay out on all the money that you put into it. There's a reason when you go to the casino, the Mohegan Sun, there's a reason why those chairs are plastic. Okay? I know people who work there or who have worked there,
right,
having to clean those chairs up because somebody just did not want to go to the bathroom to leave the machine on its own. That's why those chairs are plastic. Like,
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I am not kidding. I know. I have heard that story more than once.
They're like bathroom friendly. Like you could just sit there and play all night. And
it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not a porous plastic. It just wipes right down, and there's a reason for that.
Wow.
Let's see. Shit myself or go to the bathroom and
possibly lose your machine.
Yeah.
But my luck would be the next person would jump in and win. That's my luck. No, go ahead.
I'm just watching one person chasing another person up the street on foot. So I don't know if that person just got robbed and they're chasing the person who robbed them, or if it's something else. But it looked interesting.
Welcome to Wilkes-Barre.
Just another beautiful night in Wilkes-Barre, right?
Pretty much.
Susan writes, my mother-in-law was good at
Winding.
I'm like, yeah, the winding from the radio. By the way, Jay heard that.
I have my glasses on, so I
heard the music that Benjamin made. You be honest, I thought he sounded thought it sounded a bit creepy. Oh, Avengers 6. That's who you're talking about. Well, he made one, and maybe I dubbed the wrong one. Avengers 6 made two. Avengers 6, he's a pianist. He plays the piano, and he made a score quick for False Paranormal, and it does kind of sound because it's for like paranormal stuff. I just threw that just for something different on one of the beginnings of my show or my one video. But yeah, that's what happened, Susan. That's how that happened. But yeah, it was meant to be sound a little creepy because it was actually intended for False Paranormal.
It's really, really good. Jay, I remember when you and FP, it was one of your drone videos. You guys had that. I think Avengers like entire score was playing while the drone was like kind of doing a West Pittston flyover.
Yeah.
Awesome piece of music, man. I mean, I don't know if Avengers on tonight, but like, dude, let's start a band. Seriously. I want to start another band. So it's a really nice piano piece, man. Really nice.
He texts me. He hits me up. He texts me once in a while. Every so often he'll send me a text. And well, he's down in Texas, so he's actually an hour behind us. So, and it was funny, and if I didn't realize this at first where he was, but the first time he goes, "You're saying 9 o'clock." I'm thinking he was thinking his time, so he comes in at 9 o'clock his time and gets down. He has like his chips or whatever he's gonna, and we were done. Then he had to realize, oh, it's an hour.
Yeah, a little bit ahead of them. Yeah,
but it's usually Marcus should jump. Usually he pops in every so often too. Marcus, he's from, I think he said Detroit.
Yeah, he's a good dude too. You got some great followers, Jay. Susan, Mark, everybody, man. You guys, I know it takes a lot of work to build your, following your fan base and stuff, but everybody's loyal, man. They come on every Saturday and hang out, and it's great. So great to see everybody tonight.
And it's funny because when me and FP started this, we started this just because it was too cold to go out to the cemeteries. It was like October, November. It was starting to snow, so we started doing like a pre-recorded thing on Saturday nights. So then one time, FP's like, "Well, let's try live." I said, "Worst case scenario, we'll be the only two watching ourselves," but like, and then it just rolled into something that we never expected to happen. Like Jancy, which if he's still watching, we didn't fall asleep from his meds. Jancy texts me like literally around in between 6 and 6:30 every Saturday, wondering what's going on tonight's show. Like him and Bella's Gam, if you see her, that's his wife. That's Jancy's wife. And so yeah, they're like, when he's home, he says like he'll pick up. They have this, I guess, a nice big size TV, and they'll sit down and they'll put on the show, and it's, if I didn't say it was a little ego boost, I'd be lying. And in a way, though, it's like and everyone who follows the show every week, they make time to literally watch two people just talk and be stupid, and sometimes we have topics about ghosts or food or music or could be whatever it rolls into from the chat. And but yeah, I'm grateful for everyone who watches. I said Mark's Mark hits up every week. Marcus is usually good for every week. It's and we wouldn't be doing. I couldn't do this if we didn't have everybody who watches the shows. Susan has been following me like back when I was just doing the videos, like the food reviews and the cooking shows, and so yeah, it's something I never thought would grow. Took off, and every Saturday it's like I look forward to every Saturday night. Now it's funny because said me and Mike are like 50. Now we're like 52. And back in the day, Friday night, Saturday was you're going out, you're going here, this bar, that bar, whatever. Now it's like cool, I got a show to do at 9:00. And
Yeah.
And I'd rather sit here and do the show than be out boozing. But
I always said I never. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say there's a place. Fred, did you ever go? Fred, did you go bar hopping around this area?
Yeah, guys, I did. We
Remember
definitely did.
Do you remember Sliders?
Sliders.
Yeah.
Sliders. I don't, man. I mean,
over on Exeter Ave. Well, anyway, this was
like
like
by Blue Ribbon, by Blue Ribbon there.
Past Blue Ribbon, but yeah.
Past Blue Ribbon.
During the pandemic, the owners ended up closing because they just couldn't keep it going. Well, somebody knew. They put up on their Facebook page that someone bought it. Well, I was driving past tonight because I got wings from Sicilian Bella Festa. She got some good wings. I noticed it's open again, so I'm like, one of these nights, I'm like, I gotta go. Even if I just grab food and that's it. But it's again Sicilian Bella Festa. If you like wings, they got some kick. They got this boom boom sauce, and it has a little kick to it. But man, it's good. And he gives you the nice thick wings, not the little pony boy shit. The nice thick meaty wings. That's what they use.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my day today.
That's a great place, man. Sicilian Bella. Yeah, my brother and I had the boom boom sauce. I think we had boneless bites though. I don't know if we had like bone chicken wings. And I think we got a foot long chili dog too, and their hot dogs kick ass too. They're really good.
The owner's wife is one that makes the chili.
Yeah, just a great hot dog, great chili. No, man. I mean, I remember Jay when you were doing the first gift card giveaway that you did, like when you went to all the local businesses and like restaurants were kind enough to, donate gift cards, and
yeah.
I think you did it at Sicilian Bella, right? Like you camped out there, and yeah, man. My wife and I were gonna come down and see you that night, but like we had something going on. But then I got a chance to meet you in FP a couple months ago.
Right.
To
bring Mike up to speed, about 2 years ago, which was more like pain in the ass, not pain in the ass, but it took time to do it. Like just because I was just doing it by myself. I had $200 worth of gift cards and gift certificates for food for local places, and I got envelopes like the big yellow, and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it was. And someone would come up to me and go, "Oh, what you doing?" I'm like, "Here, pick a number," and it would either be for whichever. And they're like, they open up and it was like $20. They're like, "Oh," and which maybe I'll do that next year. I'll try and do that again. Now that we're more, but yeah, I gave overweight $200 worth of food, literally in the form of gift cards, and people are like kind of shocked because it was like $20, but then they're like, "Oh, cool," okay.
It's free. You're spreading the word of mouth and everything. No, trust me, I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea, especially you're running a food channel and everything to give away, gift cards for food.
And,
I mean, what am I going to do with my channel? Give away gift cards for broken noses or something?
but it's well, maybe next year I'll try and do that again, because what I do, I started like around December asking businesses. So by like the time June hit, I had like a whole crap load. But that was fun though, because Sicilian Bell that night had a band. They had he'll do live entertainment, like whether it's like a one man acoustic or two guy, like they'll have entertainment over there. And it was the night that they had entertainment, so they were packed, which worked out even better because people are coming up to me going, "Oh, what?" And I'm like, "Here, boom!" And a whole night, like I probably within like an hour or maybe 2 hours, they're all gone. Like, "Oh, what's this? What are you doing?" What I'd like to do, I just gotta figure out how to pull it off money wise. Buy like and I can get it like cost price, hosted like bunch of shirts. And when I go out and do something, I was like, "Here, have a free shirt, have a shirt, have a shirt." Something like that down the road too. I want to do.
Yeah, man. No, Jay, you're a very generous, giving person, man. When I met you in FP a couple months ago, I was just like, wow, like what great dudes, like you know, giving away gift cards, and I know I wasn't the only winner. I know you guys, honored a few other people too. So like,
And Susan got one
thanks,
too.
man. That was awesome. Yeah. So
Mad Peace.
Susan was a winner.
Yeah, Susan, you,
Mark.
Mark won the gift. Yeah, for the CBD shop.
CBD. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Matt P puts Sicilian Bella Festa's Boom Boom Sausage the shit. It has a little kick to it, but not where it's over, it'll like overpower you, but it has a nice little kick to it.
Tell you what, if you haven't tried it already, either of you guys, if you haven't tried it already, go to Sam Hill's Pizza over in Parsons on George Ave. Some of the best food you'll ever have.
Deep dish, right, Mike? They make like their deep dish style pizza there.
They do some, yeah. They do have that. My favorite thing, actually, they have a meatball calzone. That's absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Sam Hill's. And
yeah,
that's Gina Marie. Everybody, she's joined us.
What's up, Gina Marie?
What's up, Gina?
Hey, when
Happy
I hear
Saturday.
Gina Marie, I think I'm in trouble. All right.
She's louder than me, and I'm next to the mic.
So I'm right now.
Mark just
Jay.
He raced horses for 30 years. Nice.
Oh wow. Jay, definitely put that on your list, man. The place that Mike was referring to.
What in the Sam Hills?
Yeah, what in the Sam Hills, George Ave, near
Shields.
Across from, is it like Hans Bar?
Yeah.
Hans Cafe.
Oh, I know.
I used to live. I lived in Parsons for about
Right
6
the
years.
railroad tracks.
What Gina said.
Gotcha.
I live in Hudson. I tell everyone I live in Wilkes-Barre, but I live in Hudson Plains.
Close enough. Parsons is part of Wilkes-Barre, actually.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And
how about Miners Mills? Is Miners Mills part of Wilkes-Barre, or is that Plains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susan, no, to answer Susan's question, Victory Pig. I know they're opened. Now, I don't know if they're doing like dining or if it's just car hop service, but it's
Thanks, FP.
Hey, FP. I hope everything's going good for you, buddy. Hope to see you next week. Susan, Victory Pig. They're still open now. I don't know if they opened up their dining room, or if it's now you just pull up, and eat in your car. Pull up and honk your horn. You pull up, you honk your horn, and they come out. They are still open though, but I just don't know if they're doing their dining.
You could also get Victory Pig pizza from the refrigerated section of Shields.
And Garrett.
They carry it.
Yeah, Garrity's does too. Susan Victor's Pig, they're still open now. I don't know if they.
I'm sorry, we had an echo in here.
Feedback. Yeah. It's
No, it was Gina turned on the TV behind.
Oh.
She actually likes to watch the show on that TV back there. I had a screensaver up on it.
I got you.
The TV so I can watch the live chat.
Yeah, she likes to watch the live chat.
Gotcha. And
do you guys have like a favorite Sicilian pizzeria locally? Like I know we have Victory Pig, you have Tiberio's, Pizza Perfect as you go up to the back mountain, Spare Time at the bowling alley in the back mountain. You guys got to get there.
I haven't
like that.
You agree with me? Old Time Charlie's on over in Plains. Old Time. I don't even like Sicilian pizza, and I like theirs.
Yeah. I love their pizza. I'm not trying to correct you, believe me. I'm not like a connoisseur or anything. Theirs is more like an Old Ford style pie. Like it's square, so it's like a Sicilian pie, but
they fry it though.
The way they do it. Yeah, but dude, that's a great pizza at Old Time Charlie's.
I actually worked there for a while. I was a bouncer there. Gina was actually the shot girl there. In fact, that's how we met.
Nice.
Well, I became the bouncer long after she and I hooked up. I kind of just got any bar I drink in. I kind of just get sucked into being the bouncer. If it happened to me at Whiskey Business, happened to me at Old Time Charlie's, it's just like, hey, you're 6'7" and like 350 pounds. Why don't you be the bouncer? Well, kind of getting old. It's kind of like a young guy's. No. You're intimidating enough. Okay.
That's great, man.
And then, then you got to learn the whole universal bouncer. Like this is as soon as somebody walks through the door, you got to do this. That's the universal.
Yeah.
That's the universal. It's a loud bar, and you're saying, "Can I see your ID?" And sorry, I got to get the angle right. You do that, and that's ID.
That is American Sign Language for.
That's ASL. Yes, that's ASL bouncer version. ASL state ID, please.
Right. And it's, I don't know, man. Like on the flip side of it, like, did you ever get like a deer in headlights kind of moment where they didn't know what you were motioning about, or did like 9 out of 10 people go, here's everyone knows what that is if you walk into a bar, right?
I learned it, and I learned it later on too. I learned it when I was in my 30s. Like I've been knocking around as a bouncer in this valley since I was 23. I was bouncer at Toppers. I was a bouncer in a few places.
Toppers.
Yes, I was a bouncer there. I was a bouncer at Suey Lounge. I've when it was a biker bar, no less. You wouldn't, Fred. You wouldn't remember the Suey Lounge. That's a little bit before your time. It was on the San Sui Parkway.
Gotcha. Do you guys remember a place? It was they closed not long ago. I guess it would be in Larksville. Rob's Pub and Grub.
Sounds
you guys
familiar.
ever go there? It's kind of a biker bar. Yeah.
I had a friend who's a biker and lived in Larksville, and I believe I may have been in there once or twice. If I was, it was a long time ago, and I really don't remember much.
Yeah, Rob's Pub and Grub.
Rob's Pub and Grub, yeah. Parking was a nightmare. There was nowhere to park, so it's one of those places where, yeah.
Was it on the back road?
Say Rob's, RAUPS?
Yeah.
So Jay, if you're coming from Plymouth into Edwardsville, and there's that fork in the road, once you come through Plymouth where the new Sheets is and stuff, if you veer to the left at that fork in the road,
okay,
and you sort of go back in there, if you know what I'm talking about. It was up there.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think. think I was there like.
Yeah, Plymouth to Edwardsville, I says.
Yeah, it was down there. It was down by
Yeah,
the
I went there. Yeah, 2-3 shots of Southern, I says. And then I says, and then I says to the guy, 2-3 beers, I says. Yeah, 2-3 beers. And a shot of Southern. Sorry, that's my NEPA dialectic.
Mark just put at my age, I'm just happy to open my eyes on a Sunday morning. Boozing days are over. Yeah, I know that feeling. Like I said, after the show, me and the GF would usually do it. Like after the show, we go and go in a den.
Well, that's a little personal, but
we did it.
well, you said after the show, me and my GF will usually do it. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
You guys would have a beverage or two. Is that what you're saying, Jay? You guys would, maybe.
No, we go over to Denny's and like that's what I was telling you. Like to get the ultimate, like that meat lovers omelet or ultimate omelet that I usually get. I think it's
ultimate omelet, yeah.
Speaking of GF, just text me.
What's happening, Blue?
What's up, Blue?
Nice to meet you too, sir or madam. I can't
tell
by your picture.
Where are the other two?
We miss you, FP. We hope everything's going okay with FP tonight.
Blue, I'm trying to think who Blue is. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Technically, Fred, you're also FP.
Yeah,
I am FP. I'm FP number 2.
Hey, Blue, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Or is it Blue you?
I don't know. Hard to
Or was
say.
it a typo?
Blue.
FP got some things going on. So FP couldn't join us tonight. He has some stuff going on. But I think he's listening to the show and he's chiming in. Like he chimed in for like 2 seconds, so he could still be listening.
So everybody behave.
It's
right.
Like you behave.
Everybody behave. FP's watching.
I have a question for you guys, and even for those watching the show and in the chat. So, how does everybody feel about this whole pumpkin spice season starting up and like the obsession with fall? I love fall, but I'm not into pumpkin spice. So your take. I want to know your thoughts on pumpkin spice and this whole big craze.
I'm vaping. I'm vaping pumpkin spice.
Okay.
But not by choice. It's the vape shop I go to, he's like, really, this is like a seasonal favorite or whatever. And he doesn't always carry the stuff that I like. And it's like I'm relegated to this and lemon cookie when I want strawberry, Nola, and all this other, but I have to vape pumpkin. It kind of tastes like cinnamon. So I'm kind of all right with it. But I don't do lattes or, I'm diabetic, so I'm not going to, be running out and doing the sweets and everything. And yeah, man, I'm going to go to the hospital because of pumpkin spice, man. You're not going to tell me what to eat. It's fall, man. I'm going to go to the hospital, get an insulin drip because I have to have something. I have to have a pumpkin spice donut, man. No. Sorry.
You should at least get a T-shirt like pumpkin spice sent me to the hospital. Like a souvenir.
And all I got was this stupid T-shirt.
Yeah.
I can
please don't do that. I want you to be okay. So
I could make a shirt that says that. That could happen.
Blue pumpkin spice vape to me just tastes like cinnamon. Really, it's cool. Let me see. Sad Boy makes it. This is something I would normally vape.
Okay.
Well, they had your other flavors, but not in the.
Yeah, they have everything else. It's like the choice between 6 and 0. So like 0 nicotine or the highest.
0 that I wanted.
Either 0 nicotine or the highest nicotine. I like the middle nicotine because like the highest kind of like, ooh, wow, it mixes with the medication really nice. The highest throws me there, and like the lowest, it's like, well, there's no nicotine. It's like drinking non-alcoholic beer or something. It's like, what's the point? So
Yeah. Gotcha.
I see you. Can you see your mod? Oh, can I see your mod? Yeah, absolutely. I have more than one. It's a drag 4. Excuse me. I have 2 drag 4s. I have Geek Vape Centaur. I got this old thing. There you go. That's a drag 1, and yes, it still works. I got a bunch of mods.
I went up to grab my vape and I hear fireworks going off.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It was for Township.
Township's doing their fireworks. Gina just heard fireworks from many.
Really not that far from here, so.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that on the news today. There was like a food truck extravaganza in the parking lot of the arena. That looked cool.
Yeah, it's Township's 250th anniversary today.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, they had, like the arena parking lot was filled with food trucks and.
Son of a.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You actually censored yourself?
Yes. Damn it.
I could do that too. I could be like.
It's because if I knew that, I would have went there and I would have went like food truck crazy, man. I would have had an awesome food truck video. But it's
yeah.
But you know where this morning, actually talking about diabetes and sugar and stuff. From last week to this week, I feel a whole hell of a lot better. I don't feel 100%, but I'm like 95. And I'll admit they put me on a depression med. Hey, happens. But now, like, I'm falling asleep. Normally, if we didn't have the show time, I'd probably be in bed already. But like I'll fall asleep around that 10 o'clock, but I'm up at like 6. But I'm sleeping through the night. I wake up. So I got up this morning at like 8:30, took a shower, ran down. By 9 o'clock, I ran down to the bank because I had to pay the landlord the rent. So I ran down, got the rent, went down to Plymouth, stopped at Red Subs. Got a Red Sub hoagie for $5, $12 foot long, $5. You can't beat that anywhere, and it's a nice size hoagie. Then I went to the cemeteries to check the flowers on my parents' grave, my grandparents' grave, or my grandparents' grave. Came back home, stopped at Garrity's, got some stuff. I was home by noon, so like I was like kicking butt this morning, and
productive, very productive day.
I did and I was like, it was nice out, it was beautiful out. But back to the fall thing too, and so the moral of my story is, I mean, hey, if you have to take meds, you got to take meds. They what I'm taking is actually helping me.
Metformin?
Yeah, I'm on that too. Blood pressure medicine. It begins with an A.
Amlodipine.
Yeah. Metformin.
I take a lot of the same meds.
Yeah, and then for my depression. No, for my depression, it begins with a B. I've never heard it before, but hey, it seems like it's working, so I ain't gonna say no. If Blue wants to go back to the subject of fall, one of the favorite times of the year, he especially loves pumpkin spice coffee.
Cool. Yeah. You go to the grocery store, Target, all the back to school stuff is out now, all the pumpkins are out, how it goes. You go shopping, and it's like, seems like I blinked my eye. We were buying American flags for 4th of July. Now we're, getting Halloween costumes, But yeah, my wife is excited because pumpkin spice is coming back. She's a big pumpkin spice fan. So I was curious to see what everyone else was thinking.
It's
I'm trying to answer a question in the chat, and it's like private chat to Jay.
Oh, you end up hitting private chat. Yeah, okay.
Because I was trying to answer Blue. I'll just do it this way since I'm inept. Blue, the Drag 4 that I bought cost about $89, I believe, and I bought it at I always call it Leo's place. Leo's the owner. Tobacco King. It's on Route 309 in Wilkes-Barre Township, up by Wegmans in that area. But there's so it was an old country buffet type restaurant, Haystacks, I think it was. They closed, and now it's like a ginormous tobacco shop and vape shop. And Leo is just a phenomenal person. If you if you're looking for, we all vapors have their favorite vape shops to go to, and Leo's is my hangout, and I always plug for him whenever I can. Sorry.
No, nothing to be sorry. Mark hanging there. FP watched your video where you walked to the doctor. Wanted to know if you got a script. He might be still on. I don't know. But thank you, Blue, for that. I appreciate that comment. Yeah, I try. And Fred, you bought the I Love My Coffee T-shirt, didn't you? Didn't you get that?
Sure did.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And I've worn it too. I've worn it, and I have my favorite coffee mug right here. But I'm drinking soda though. I'm drinking Diet Coke in my coffee mug.
You know what I started?
I had too much coffee today.
It's the zero sugar Snapple. The one, and it actually doesn't taste like that bad.
Jay, do you like sweet tea? Like McDonald's sweet tea?
Yeah, I've had it before. I haven't had it like all the time, but yeah, I've had it. It's not bad.
I think most grocery stores carry it. I usually find it at Price Chopper. It's either Gold Peak or the other one, the other tea brand. It's not Snapple. It's not Lipton. It's the other one. If anybody in the chat could help me out, not Gold Peak.
Arizona?
Pure Leaf. Pure Leaf.
Oh, Pure Leaf. I think Gary's sells that. I think Gary's has Pure Leaf. I remember.
It's one or the other. I could send it to you, but they make a zero sugar sweet tea. So I know that sounds contradictory. It's artificial. It's like aspartame or whatever. But dude, unbelievable. I love sweet tea. Like the sweeter, the better.
Oh yeah, that's how I always.
Aspartame causes brain lesions.
Yeah. It's all bad for you. Like George Carlin said, it's all bad for you, but it tastes good.
Do you know that Air Force pilots and Navy pilots are not allowed to fly within 8 hours of drinking any kind of aspartame drink because it affects judgment?
Did not know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Affects
Aspartame was created by a company called Searly. The president of Searly during its development was a gentleman by the name of Donald Rumsfeld. Shortly after Donald Rumsfeld was approved or appointed as Secretary of Defense, all of a sudden, aspartame was approved for human consumption by the FDA.
Gee, I wonder how that happened.
Because it was unsafe all through the late 70s and entirely throughout the 80s and 90s. So it was developed for a long time. But yeah, like I said, as soon as Donald Rumsfeld, former CEO and president of Shirley Corp, became Secretary of Defense, it was greenlit and safe for human consumption. And I'm watching for the chat to just blow up now.
Remember back in the day, like sugar was bad for you. Then they came out with the sweet and low. Then they said no.
Sugar's still bad for you.
Oh yeah, I know. But now like they say sweet and low's bad. Sugar's bad. I was like, geez, and make up their minds.
Everything's bad.
Oh, look at saccharin.
Stop eating.
Yeah.
You know, they took saccharin off the market. I mean, saccharin like literally causes cancer. You might as well just, you know, like smoke cigars and inhale them for what saccharin will do to you. Oh yeah, it's much better than aspartame, but I have all these tumors. Yeah, that's saccharin. Then you have I like sucralose. That's normally what they sweeten energy drinks with. That's the one that's like supposedly it's like one molecule away from sugar. That's not too bad. It just causes some fertility issues, but at my age, I'm not too worried. You know, and then stevia. Stevia is actually table sugar in Japan, and their birth rates have been falling like you wouldn't believe. Stevia is also it was first discovered in like the Amazon rainforest, like Brazil and South America and everything. They actually used the tribes there. They used it as contraception. Now it's the sweetener in your ketchup. So
I'm
a nutty conspiracy theorist, but guess what? If you go and read up a little bit about what I'm talking about, I might be right.
Yeah. No, dude, it's amazing how you could educate yourself on, you know, what you've been sort of led to believe is just like okay for all these years, and it's just like, oh shit, like this is not good for me, you know. But no, man, I mean, there's an alternative soda. It's called Zevia, and it has that stevia or stevia like as the sweetener.
I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Yeah, I think it's called Zevia, but it's not bad. I tried it. It's very expensive. Like it's more expensive than regular diet soda. But it's not
probably
bad. I
cheaper
mean,
too.
Yeah, I mean,
that's usually how it works.
They make all kinds of flavors. Like they have a Dr. Pepper knockoff. They have a Mountain Dew. They have like 2 different kinds of root beer, and it's pretty good. You know, but usually what's good is bad for you, you know.
Susan chimes in going, I don't like pumpkin spice, but my mom makes the best pumpkin cookies.
If I remember right, pumpkin spice isn't actually made from pumpkin. It's just the spice that you're supposed to use on a pumpkin.
Susan, do you have to add
crickets?
Oh. It's
just pumpkin spice. We're rolling right into pumpkin spice season here.
You hear that, Karen? Pumpkin spice is on the way, Karen. I'm talking to all the Karens out there.
Oh, okay.
All the metaphorical Karens.
It's
yeah.
Out in the back.
Karen's in name and in spirit. And Effie just lost his headphones.
Did anybody ever go out to Braces out in the back mountain?
Oh yeah, the apple orchard.
Braces Orchard.
Okay, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
They got they'll do a lot of the pumpkin stuff. Probably
apple cider. Right.
Oh, they have good apple cider. Oh, they have. Yeah. It tastes better though when you get it straight from there than you do in the supermarket. It tastes a lot better when you get it from out there for some reason. It just does. Or that's a figment of my head.
I agree. It does taste better there. There used to be there still is. There's an amusement park out near Altoona. Okay. Mark might actually know this. I know Mark is out near Pittsburgh. So it was formerly Bland's Park. Now it's Del Grosso's Park. And it's in Tipton, I think. kind of like not far from Altoona. Anyway, in the fall they have like a fall. It's kind of like a Knoebels, like free admission. At least it was when we were kids. And apple cider, kettle corn, great stuff, man. Great food. Love that apple cider.
I didn't get out there this year, and I probably won't get out there the rest of this year. But if you go out to Knoebels, there was this produce stand on the right, on the same road as Knoebels, like maybe a mile or two before. It's on the right-hand side. They have the best sweet corn you've ever had. Oh, my God. It was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Jay, the best sweet corn down off St. Mary's Road.
Is where I couldn't hear too good. Is where?
No, now you done it. Here she comes.
I don't know the name of the place, but it's off of St. Mary's Road. Down, like if you turn by the cemetery and go straight down, it's on the right-hand side.
You might want to bend down a little bit so it's not breast talking.
Thanks.
No. Where is this?
It's St. Mary's Road, Hanover Township.
Okay, you're over in that way. Okay.
Yeah, make that. If you're going down South Main Street, make the left by the cemetery. It's down behind the cemetery.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're, because my girlfriend, she always says you have to get quarter, but the thing is, like,
you have to get there early.
Yeah, because they could go out and they could be out in like an hour.
Yep.
They're gonna do it right after the show.
I heard.
Mark takes his CBD gummies for sleep and pain. I'm out like a light within 20 minutes. That's.
Oh God, my phone.
Jay, when I was a kid, I don't know if they still do it, but there was like a little roadside like wooden stand on Wyoming Avenue near the Wyoming Monument, and we would get corn.
Yeah, it's still there.
Corn there.
Actually,
is it still there?
I just went. I saw it this when I was going down. To Plymouth, where I saw it. They had stuff going on. I was like, yeah, it was like 10, 9:30, 10. Yeah, they still do it.
Nice.
I forget who has it. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember.
Is it like the Pisano Farms, like the farms by the river?
Yeah,
maybe. Pisano.
It's Pisano's.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to stop there and get some corn in the summer back in the day. That was fun. That was cool.
Back in the day.
I don't have the best teeth in the world left.
What, for corn on the cob?
For corn on the cob, for anything.
For anything.
It's
Really loud now.
You can always get.
What are you looking for, Gina?
Fireworks.
Oh. She's going outside to look at the fireworks.
Ah.
I could hear them from my neck of the woods. I hear them in the distance.
If I had my window, might be able to hear it, but I can't hear it.
My neck of the woods. Actually, I'm not in the neck. I'm more in the groin area of the city.
I can hear them, but I can't see them.
She can hear them, but she can't see them. And like I said, that's.
Well, it's out there. There's a really fucking loud one. It's really close.
Well, that just might be gunfire, Gina.
That could be. We are in Woodstock.
Yeah, right.
That was that game you play. You play the game every weekend in the city. Was that gunfire or was that fireworks?
Yeah.
And sometimes it is gunfire. I've had a few instances, and I got it on camera, where it's actually gunfire.
Caught on video. It's
and people ask me, like, they come in the house and they see, like, we have as soon as you walk through the door down here, we have a hassock. And she always laughs whenever I say that word.
Because I had to tell him what it meant.
So I'm very pronounced, and when I say it, it's a hassock. Well, I have a revolver on my hassock.
Where's my baby?
Loaded revolver, of course, because it wouldn't do you much good if it weren't loaded. You could throw it, I guess, or something, but Yeah, people always like, why do you sleep with a loaded revolver, Nick? Because look, just go outside, do a 360.
Do you know where we live?
Yeah.
Not know this area?
I mean, God
Like,
forbid I ever have to use it. Huh?
Do you have to like charge your cameras, or are they just like hardwired, like they're just on 24/7?
They're hardwired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have solar cameras or anything fancy like that. No. In fact, I had a cat down here for a while. He's back upstairs now. We had to throw him out into exile because, or actually back into general population. Exile's down here, but he kept chewing on all my camera wires. So
Oh, yeah.
I can't have that. Well, my keyboard wires. Luckily, everything he was going after was like 10 volts or less. Nothing that could, hurt him or kill him.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to graduate up into like 120 volts. That would not be good.
No.
But he's back up in GP now with the rest of the hardened criminals up there.
How many do you guys have? How many cats
18.
do you guys have?
Currently 19, but we're trying to adopt the one out. I got about 4,000 square feet here, so they have enough room to move around and stuff. And yes, the first question I always get, yes, I clean litter boxes every single day, constantly.
Yeah,
They are
part of it. Yeah.
They are poop machines.
Oh yeah.
And yes, I haul bags upon bags of used cat litter to the curb every week. So Patty's annual car show tomorrow?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, but that's what Gina said. Patty's annual car show
Right
is.
around the corner from us.
Oh, it's around the corner from us. Oh, Patty's
We're at,
Sports Bar. Okay.
Patty Sports Bar.
Yeah.
They do an annual car show. That's cool. They have enough parking, right? I mean, they have like pretty big lot there.
Oh yeah, they keep tearing down houses to allow for more parking.
Yeah. Right.
It's true.
I'm not sure about the date. I think it's the 31st. There's supposed to be a big car show up at McDade Park, which I might hit.
My wife and I were up in Dixon City last night. There was a car show going on at the Viewmont Mall in the parking lot. We just drove by. We were like, oh, cool. We saw some Corvettes and like some old Lincolns and stuff. It was neat.
Tell you what, Jay, if you go to one of those car shows, you might run into Chris Roberts. He has an Oldsmobile, like an old one from like the 70s or the 80s, that he likes to show off in those things.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, I haven't seen Chris in years.
Me either. That's part of that old thing I was telling you. They falling out with all those guys. Well, yeah, Chris, same way. Well, Chris is different. He and I fell out for different reasons, and it has to do with Gina. But I don't know if you can hear her laughing.
Background, yeah. It's
weird.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm just stepping away for a beverage. Be right back.
I see.
Yeah, it's about a year ago, maybe a little old. They had a car show in Price Chopper parking lot over in Wyoming, and
Okay.
they had Herbie the Love Bug, which was cool. The bug.
Is that where you got that picture of you and the General Lee?
No, actually, I'll explain that.
Okay.
In a second. But they had the generally. Someone had, and I know there's knockoffs all over the place, but this one was actually the one where there was one where all the actors signed the inside of the trunk.
Okay.
That was the car. I was like, schmag. Like, no, but the one with the picture, I was actually going to Arby's. I was going to work. I was working at Arby's, so I was going to work at Arby's, and there used to be a used car lot across the street from Sab's. It was called D'Angelo's. D'Angelo Auto.
Okay.
And the son found it somewhere, and he bought it. And I'm driving by. I'm like, I'm looking to kind of do that. Like, did I just see what I thought I saw? So I'm like, pull over. I'm like, oh my God, where'd you get? He's like, take it for a ride. I'm like, yeah, no, my luck, somebody would hit me or some shit or.
Oh, dude, that those old Challengers and Chargers, man, they were built like tanks.
Oh, I know, but my luck, somebody would hit me or some shit or, I'm like, but no, he let me sit in and take my picture. I was like, cool.
It's like if you get like rear-ended in one of those things, you're literally like, ooh, did I just hit a bump? It's like that's how tough those cars were. Or you front end somebody and you're just like, oh, pothole? Oh, no, Subaru. Okay.
I had a 79 Dodge Magnum. And that was like that. Like that thing was like a tank.
Oh, man, I've had a few tanks in my life. Buick Regal 79. Or no, it was a 78 Regal. I had which was basically the same thing as a Monte Carlo back then.
Right.
Same body. Plymouth Volare, which was basically, if you can believe this, a lowball duster. It was like the Plymouth version of a duster.
I remember.
You probably that was my red car, if you remember that.
I mean, I remember back like.
And not the Dean Martin song. Volare. Not that.
When I was a kid.
Well, yeah, your dad had a lot.
Yeah, my dad had a Volare as a demo. One of the car lots, one of the places he managed. I remember the Volare. I was like, God, I remember that. It's
I have a true story for you guys. This is 100% true. So, my buddy in high school, he had a '92 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, powder blue. Hilarious car, just looking back like to what cars look like now, funny car. But anyway, we were in Duryea. We were on Foot Ave in Duryea at, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we hit a black bear came running out of the woods, and he hit the brakes, but we made contact with the bear. We didn't know what we hit at first. Like, we were like just kind of stunned. Like, no damage to the car. The car was fine, and the bear was fine too. Because the bear just got up and looked at us and just ran right off the other way into the woods. And we were just like, what just happened? Smashed right into a bear. Car was fine. Bear was fine.
Number one, when you said I have a sad story, I thought you were like going to break into song and just be like, here's my story, sad but true. That. And number two, I actually did nearly the same thing in the Poconos with a Renault Alliance. I tapped a deer because they out by the raceway, Long Pond Road. Sometimes they'll just flock on the road. I was with a woman at the time who lived up there, and she and I were kind of arguing while I was driving. And I took my eyes off the road for a second to look at her. And then when I looked back up, I was only doing about 15 miles an hour. Literally, I was like going like 10 miles an hour under the speed limit, basically because I was arguing. And before I could stop, there was a deer right in front of me. I basically bumped it on its ass. It felt like it did a barrel roll, shook its head, got up, shook its head, and ran off into the woods. Now, at the meantime, my front end's completely destroyed. Like, all the grill is just gone. Like, I hit this thing at 15 miles an hour. Grill's gone. The motor mounts are busted. Like, you rev the engine, and the engine would like, woo. It would come up like a jack in the box.
Yeah.
And the deer was fine.
The deer was fine. I saw it the next day. It had like a little bit of a limp.
It's
and I'm like shaking my head. I'm like at that deer the next time. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you someday.
I was
man.
Only time in my life I ever hit one. Sorry.
No, I had one almost same to it. I was coming home. I was working out in Jessup still. We sold our house out in Jessup, and I'm coming down. I forget the name of the Lake. Is it Lake Street? I think the name of the road was. Anyway, it's a long stretch of road that you got to go to before you can get to the Casey. So I'm driving down and I see deer runner. And this is about like 8 o'clock at night when I was working nights. I come down to like almost like a halt, like a dead stop. And a deer comes out my side and just like walks into my door. I'm like, what the hell? There was no doubt, but it's like, he just like, do the poof. Like, he looked at me like, what the hell? And then he just trotted it out. I'm like thinking, what the hell? Yeah.
And no, dear, that happened. I don't know if you remember Tony Latwis, Jay. Tony Latwis. That happened to him. It was like a brand new truck, and the deer just ran right into it. Like ran into the I forget if it was I think it was the passenger side door while he was driving. So he didn't actually hit the deer. The deer hit him.
Tony Latwis. Yeah, I know. I met him through another friend of mine. Yeah, I know Tony. I knew who he was. Like, I met him like once or twice. But I remember that name, Tony Latwis. Holy crap.
And that sounds like a Yakov Smirnoff joke right there. What I just said, It's only in Russia. You don't hit deer. Deer hits you.
Sorry. The deer hit your car in Russia.
It's
the deer hit you.
Yakov Smirnoff. I only saw him once. It was Rodney Dangerfield's hosted this young comedian special on Home Box when HBO was big.
Yeah, he had like a thing that was called Dangerfields.
Yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay, Sam Kinnis, they all got their start there.
Yeah, Bob Saget. But Yakov Smirnoff was one of them, and I remember that, which is sad. I remember that.
In Soviet Union, there's no fork in road. Road forks you. That's one of his jokes. I think he would say Soviet Russia.
Makes me think of the Pine Barrens from The Sopranos. You guys familiar with Sopranos?
Oh,
the Pine Barrens episode, the Russian guy in the woods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they never really explained what the hell ever happened there.
Right.
If you slow it down, you could see that there is some kind of blood splurt. Because I've sat there and done that with a DVD player. Like, all right, what the just happened?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I just watched an interview with Steve Buscemi, who directed that episode, and they were asking him, like, there's one part of that episode where the camera angle is like up in the tree. So they ask him, they say, like, is that from his point of view? Is he up in the tree looking down on Christopher and Paulie? And Buscemi was just like, it's open to interpretation. Whatever the audience wants to think happened to him.
Yeah, it's the same thing like with the last episode. It's like everything's ambiguous, Right.
Like,
well, what? It's like a psychiatrist. It's like, well, what do you think it means?
Right. There's no closure. It's just open-ended.
So what happened to Tony? I don't know. What do you think happened to Tony?
Yeah.
I don't know. Until you brought up his name, I really forgot all about him. He used to go to
oh wait, we're back on Tony.
You said Tony.
Two Tonys.
Tony Latwis. I met through a friend of mine named Jim, who I don't know if Tony Latwis went. I forget what school he went to, but that's how I ended up meeting him.
He was in Coughlin.
Was he in Coughlin?
Yeah.
I think he was a year. Was he a year older than us?
Yes.
That's why. Okay.
He was a year older than us, and he got held back a year. So, but he was still a grade ahead, at least to me. I don't know, because I got held back a year because I was unavoidably detained and held against my will in a state facility for several months as a teenager. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I was required to do school while I was in this facility that I was held against my will in, and I decided that no, I'm not going. I prefer sleeping. I'm not going to go to school today or any day. So I did not get any kind of class or course credits while in that state school that I was being sent to, while totally and completely against my will as a teenager. Anyway,
Anyway,
I got held back. Got held back in 8th grade because of that. So, I'm sorry, you were saying about Tony.
yeah, and well, no, that's all. I think I remember what he looks like, but
You'd never recognize him now. You'd never recognize him. I saw him maybe like a few months ago. I gave him a ride from the Leisure Tavern out to Dallas. Yeah, he messaged me out of the blue looking for a ride.
is he? I think he back in. Was he like on the heavier side?
Yes, not anymore though. He had surgery.
The gastro surgery.
Yeah, the gastro. I don't know if he had the sleeve. I don't know if he had the bypass, but
He had one of them.
He's much thinner now.
Yeah, as long as he's doing good. Let's check this chat. Oh, Fred or Mark put best amusement park around is in West Mifflin, Kennywood Park, or the best wooden roller coaster in America. I don't know. I think Knoebel's Phoenix was rated for the best in the country too. I can't remember what it was though, but they have it for something too.
I swear to God, I heard you say Union Park. You're gonna enjoy this ride, see? Sorry.
No.
You guys ever go to Busch Gardens down in Williamsburg, Virginia?
I'm not sure. If I did, I was very, very young. I don't think
That's a
so,
good
though.
time. A lot of good roller coasters there. A lot of good food too. Great food.
I remember as a kid, I really enjoyed Sesame Place. I was in Langhorne.
I never went there.
Yeah.
Gina never went there.
I never.
But then again, I was the oldest of 4 kids, and we didn't have that much money.
My friend took her grandson to Sesame Place. She was showing me like all the and it looked pretty cool. I'd probably like to go and see what it's like, just to hell walk through it. Because I grew up watching Sesame Street, Electric Company, those shows.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Sesame Place that I went to is nothing like I remember. I was 8 years old on a zip line, and I got pushed off of a ledge, probably about 15 or 20 feet in the air. If I fell, I would fall into like this mulch stuff that looked really hurty, and you had to go from like one platform to another, and I don't think they do that to 8-year-old kids anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, these kids have no kind of childhood anymore.
People, like, they say now, oh, you can't ride in the back of a pickup truck. We did it all the time.
In the woods.
Yeah.
The woods, right down the
No.
street.
Oh, Jay, I was wondering, like, how did you hear about that redneck parade?
The redneck parade. Okay. Well, my friend Jim, who back when we were in high school in elementary, like I lived in East End, and my back alley was his back alley, so we were our houses kind of like were across from each other, and I've known him since. I've known him since I can't even remember how I met him. That's how long ago I've known him. Well, as time went on, him and his now wife, he sold his house in East End because it was just getting too. It was Wilkes, East End Wilkes. He was getting too, drug house here, drug house there, blah blah.
Yeah.
Drug house here, drug house everywhere.
He sold his house, bought a house out in Thornhurst, and
nice.
Oh, it's beautiful out there. Like every year we have the Memorial Day cookout, and then I'll go up and meet him. We'll go see the Redneck Parade.
Wait a minute. Jim who?
Polifko.
I think I might have been to one of those parties years ago.
Oh, maybe. But the Redneck Parade, if you could pull it or drive it, it was in it. And it's just, they shut down this stretch of road. It's like almost like a circle. They shut it down and they have the parade. And the last one, I don't know if you saw in the video, if you caught it, someone was throwing beers out to us out of the back of the truck. Yeah, that was
yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
Somehow I just picture or auditorily hear Sousa's march being played with kazoos. Like, like with like a band of kazoos. That'd actually be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
I think next year, I think I'm gonna take the drone and drone it from above. That would be cool.
Yeah, it just looks like fun, man. Everybody in the parade is having fun, and just there's
even
everybody's smiling. It looks like a really fun thing to check out.
Where we parked and where we hung out at, it's a cemetery like parking lot, but it's all grassed over. So like everybody just bullshits, and it's like, hey, you want a beer? Hey, you want this? Or hey, and everybody, and then the parade starts, and we were just bullshitting everybody. It's a fun time. It's a really great time.
Yeah, that's cool. I grew up in DuPont, so like every year Memorial Day, that was like the the official kickoff of the summer. My grandparents would have a big cookout in the front yard, and
oh yeah, so did we. Oh
yeah, we'd have parade in the morning. Always do the parade, and yeah, it was just cool, really cool. You got to talk to like some old vets. I mean, we still go every year. I mean, a lot of the World War II vets and stuff, they're up there in age. I was just talking to those guys. It's like, wow, like they were at D-Day, Battle of the Bulge, parachuting over France and Germany and in the Pacific Theater and stuff. So yeah, Memorial Day is just that's something I look forward to every year. As a kid, it was like, oh, I get a day off of school and we have a cookout. Now it's like, it's bigger than that.
Right.
I probably shouldn't even talk about Memorial Day I had a neighbor. He was a Vietnam vet, and he's a really cool guy. Actually, we were best friends, and I always looked to him as I called him my surrogate adopted stepfather. And we, for Memorial Day every year, my buddies and I, we'd pitch tents on his lawn, get a basically like a half a beer, and just sit out there the entire weekend. And he'd get loaded, we'd get loaded, and we would just basically like lay around like a bunch of dirty hippies all weekend, just drinking beer and laughing and getting high. But we did it with a guy who fought in Vietnam and everything. So it was patriotic.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yeah.
And we gave him free beer. Well, actually we didn't, because he would insist on Budweiser, and we didn't drink Bud. But the spirit was there. Like he was, he if he wanted beer, he was welcome to it. He just didn't want anything that wasn't his beer. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a you really go back in time. I mean, that same guy. This guy was 15 years old. He's like, hey, fat boy, get over here, mow my lawn. And I was like, well, what are you going to give me? What do you want? A beer? All right, mow the lawn. We'll talk. My mother gets home from work like 2 hours later. I'm 15 years old, mind you. This guy's like in his 30s. And I'm smashed.
Oh, jeez.
And my mom gets home from work. She's like, Doyle, what the hell? What? He mowed the lawn. He's not driving anywhere. So I was getting drunk with my neighbor from the time I was like, I don't know, 14, 15 years old. And all I had to do was mow the lawn.
That's funny.
That's old school, man. My mom's grandfather, so my great grandfather, didn't get to meet him. He passed away before I was born, but he was in World War One, and I just think that's amazing, man. I mean, you know, that was over 100 years ago
Yeah.
when they fought World War One, and like, no, I mean, there's nobody left, you know, like that. I think all the veterans
No, they're all
have
gone.
passed away. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Again, in I think it was Slovenia, when Gavrilo Princip, an anarchist, shot Franz Duke Ferdinand,
Hmm.
shot him dead. Yeah. And he missed. He was actually going. You know, he was supposed to get him in the car, like in the car, on the arrival of, you know, I forget what palace it was, but he missed, and he was like sitting in a bar, angry at himself, drinking, like, God damn it, you know, what kind of anarchist am I? And the motorcade comes flying by. He's like, oh shit! Finishes the beer, runs outside, blam blam, and you know, World War One.
Yep.
Prince William of Germany, or I'm sorry, Wilhelm, Kaiser Wilhelm,
Kaiser Wilhelm, yeah,
basically goes to war with the rest of Europe, and Russia comes, you know, goes against them. I mean, the Tsarina was actually Wilhelm's first cousin.
Yeah, crazy stuff, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm a big history buff, always have been. Did you guys, by chance, did you see a couple years ago? I think it's Peter Jackson, the guy that did Lord of the Rings. He got all this old footage from World War One and colorized it because, you know, most of it was like black and white and
I was gonna say, did he just have a free afternoon, or
right. I think it took him several years, like, to put it all together. But it's called "They Shall Not Grow Old." That's the title of the documentary. "They Shall Not Grow Old." It was on Netflix for a bit. Just amazing footage, you know, from over 100 years ago in color. Amazing stuff.
did he fix like the speed of the because like everybody, like when you go to like
Yeah.
the old movies, everybody's like,
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. Everybody was like kind of miming. Yeah, yep. Everything was up to speed, and there was like audio that he like overdubbed. It's just awesome. Like if you're you know, on a rainy day or something, you're bored looking for something to watch, man. It's maybe like an hour and a half. They Shall Not Grow Old.
yeah, we don't have
Check it out.
Netflix anymore. We used to
Yeah.
leech it off. We used to leech it off of our brother's account, but they figured it out. So
Yeah, they figured that one out. We don't, Mike. I'm happy you mentioned that because Jay, like, I've told you this before. You know, um, my wife and I and my brother and I just like checking out your food reviews and stuff like during COVID. Because
Right.
my wife and I, we canceled our cable during the pandemic. Like, the bill was just outrageous. Like, we had Xfinity and we were just like, we don't watch any of these channels. So we canceled it, and now we just do streaming. Um, and we're fine. Like, we don't miss having, you know, all those channels. Like, we have a ton of stuff to watch, but you know, like, your YouTube channel was always right up there. Especially when we canceled our cable, it's like, oh, we'll just watch Jay's videos, or like,
There you go.
you know what I mean, or like the that NEPA pizza guy, the guy that does all the pizza reviews. Like, we watch his stuff.
I catch some of his stuff when I see it on YouTube. But yeah, he's pretty good guy.
That's good, you know, like, yeah.
I haven't seen lately Demetra's Food Fight. Do you know him?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
I haven't seen anything lately from him, but I met him. I was going to get pizza one night, and I actually walked it like I had walking into him, and we were like bullshitting for a little bit. He's a nice guy.
Jay, what about the dude? Like I don't think he has a YouTube channel. Eric McDermott, the guy that does like the NEPA food stuff. Like, what's his shtick? Like, is he on YouTube or is he just like Facebook, like
I don't.
going to restaurants and stuff?
No, I don't know. I never really follow him.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of a Facebook guy, like food reviews, local places, stuff like that.
Speaking of YouTube, what video did I make YouTube? I don't remember. Next Friday, it's going to be. Come on. Oh, my Sabatini's pizza wing review. But I think I'm going to put up the Rocks 52 one too. I think I'm going to put that up.
Yeah, I've had that Hawaiian pizza at Rocks 52, man. It's good.
Yeah, it was.
And did you like it?
I did, because it wasn't like, and I've had from places where it was all big and chunky.
Yeah.
But his, I noticed it was diced small, but it still gave you good flavor.
Yep. Yeah. You know where else has a good Hawaiian pizza too? Barry Pizza, which is like in Pittston, Hughestown, off the Pittston bypass.
Antonio's in West Pittston, they have a good one too.
Yeah, they probably do. They should try theirs. Yeah.
Have you been?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you ever go down to Tammy's Kitchen at all in Larksville?
No, man. I know where it is. My wife and I used to just sit at the Curry Donuts there, like in that little plaza. We'd hang out there, have a coffee or something. So I know where Tammy's is. We got to get there.
They have good home fried potatoes.
Nice. My favorite was always Eddie's Diner, which is now Dee's Diner. But
oh yeah.
After a night of bar hopping when they were open 24/7, I think they were open 24/7 again. But anyway,
they were.
These diners still 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd always end up there.
And it's still cash.
For breakfast at like 3 a.m.
Got to pay cash there.
Yeah, it's cash only.
Yep, that's right, cash only. And so is Sabatini's too.
Yeah.
Cash
nobody ever put it together. Remember they did all that damage to Dee's Diner. They basically they hooked up the ATM machine and like dragged it out.
They stole the truck from Kosha, and so somehow they figured out how to steal a truck from Kosha. That's where they chained the ATM and pulled it out of Dee's Diner.
Nobody ever put it together. I was like saying it all the time, like in social media. It's like, you fools, this is happening all over the country. Everybody thought it was like, oh, well, some local miscreants. No, it was like Antifa or something. Like, look at it. It's right by a highway. It's a highway that's next to a major highway. It's easy on, easy off. And you could just go there, do the thing, and get right out and use that money to, do whatever Antifa does, and terrorize people or whatever.
Guys, I'll be honest. I'm not an angry person. Like I don't have any room in my life for like anger and don't get me wrong. I get frustrated and angry about stuff. But when I saw on the news that they did that to Dee's Diner, like they demolished their little front entryway.
Yeah,
I was pissed, man. I was angry.
Well, that was actually I'm sorry, that was actually like a period in time where Gina and I were going there at least once a week.
they had to close, right? Like they closed for like a few months, I think, to like rebuild and stuff. I just felt
It's like COVID wasn't bad enough for them that had to happen.
Right.
Yeah. I was really mad about that one.
My GF's cousin is one of the cooks, and at Dee's Diner, and after that happened, they almost didn't reopen. It was like borderline, like
Yeah,
and that would have sucked.
Well, GF's cousin is a very good cook.
Usually, I think he works like normally. We saw him there. It was at the night. It was like Friday night. It was like in the evening, but
I'm just saying, all the food's always good. So.
Oh yeah, I've always had good food there too.
Food is so good there.
What's up, Blue? Welcome back. We're just talking about food. We're talking about just stuff in general. Hanging
mayhem and destruction.
We still got 9. We still got 9 watching us, and we're almost 2 hours in.
Gina's one of them.
Oh, hi, Gina.
Hey.
I mean, you can see like right back there, like that big TV screen. That's see if I.
Oh, I can see a little bit.
It's right over your right shoulder.
Yeah, it's over my right shoulder. That's where Gina's watching. That's like a 75-inch TV.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I bought it when it was still expensive. If I waited like a year or two, I could have got it for like $800 at Walmart instead of $2,000 at Best Buy.
TVs are so cheap now, aren't they? Like 65-inch TV for like what, like under $200 or something? Like what?
Well, remember
like when 500 for
when plasma TVs came out? It's like, huh? That's like more than what I paid for my car.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Yeah, a couple thousand. Yeah,
like $18,000, and it's on sale this week for $15,000. It's like, what?
Yeah,
on sale. It's like you want to say like it's on sale for $50. What does it normally cost?
Yeah, and it's like not even like it's a screen that's like moderate. It's like maybe like a 48-inch or something. It's not even it's not like the Gigunda Vision or whatever. It's like just a very moderate screen. Now, during that period of time, I bought one of those rear projection TVs. It was like 52 inches, had a base, like it rolled around on its own base and like probably weighed about, I don't know, 120 pounds.
I remember a neighbor. Well, when I lived in East End, my neighbor had the projection TV. It's like right there. I was like, oh, so cool and stuff. And
you're thinking the ones that was front project. I know. That was the thing folded out, and it had the 3 lights on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking like the rear projection was like it was all enclosed.
Oh. Okay.
And it was like this huge case, like it just like I had it in my living room in an apartment I lived in a mountaintop, and it just dominated the entire room, and it was only 52 inches. It's like if I went any more, it would be like I wouldn't be able to open my front door. But I had like this 250 watt surround system, and I used to call my living room my name for it. I used to call it the Psychomantium. It's like, yes, come into the Psychomantium and watch movies.
Mark has a question. You guys ever go to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio? No. Never been to Ohio.
No.
I've never been to Ohio. I flew over it once in a plane.
I drove through it.
I always wanted to go there, Mark. I remember commercials back in the day. Like they had a big ad campaign when I was a kid. Like come to Cedar Point, and I remember the commercial was just so badass. Like I loved roller coasters when I was younger. I was like, I gotta get there, but yeah, we never made it out there. I don't think.
The only roller coaster that I was ever able to go on was the one in Angelo Park, and I loved it. Every other roller coaster made me sick, and I hated it.
Angelo Park, man, that's a
out towards. I'm sure you remember out towards Hazleton.
Oh yeah, I was never there. I never went there, but I knew about it.
You never went to Angelo Park?
God.
Dude, you had the childhood of sorrow.
So we always went to Rocky Glen when that was opened. And during the summer when we go on vacation, we go to like Busch Gardens. That's like I did like Busch Gardens, or we would go to Hershey Park.
You never swam in the insect breeding ground swimming pool that they had.
No.
They had bands there. It was, my Cub Scout troop. That we had a party there one year. It was the park was just an amazing little place. Now it's like a police training grounds. It's like right on 309.
Yeah, I was telling FP I want to go because you could still go to Rocky Glen and like go through where I guess you go through where everything used to be. I want to take the drone and go flying through there, and I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they used to have a thing there called Ghost Town in the Glen.
It was Rocky Glen, and it became Ghost Town. Then it went back to Rocky Glen.
But they actually had. I mean, there was an actual ghost town there. I've been through it. There was I grew up in Wilkeswood, and right on Bear Creek Boulevard, next to Wilkeswood, was actually a park. It was long closed by the time I was a kid, but we used to. There were still buildings there that we would like build forts out of, and there were these old tin signs, like advertisements for Coca-Cola and stuff that were ginormous. We used to build bunks out of them. It's like, man, if I used to collect Coca-Cola stuff, it's like, man, if I still could go back in time and like grab that stuff. I can't tell you how many times I cut my fingers on those things, trying to make them stand like a house of cards, for a buck.
Sorry. Hey, Marcus, what's going on? Marcus is actually driving home from Cedar Point, he said right now. What's going on, Marcus?
Keep your eyes on the road, dude.
Well, maybe he's not the one driving.
Click it or ticket, Marcus.
Well, Gina said he might not be the one driving, so that's an excellent point.
Oh, true.
Keep your eyes on the road anyway. You never know.
Or he could be using speech to text.
Yeah, but if he's watching me and not keeping his eyes on the road, I'm not saying about you guys, but,
Well,
I'm me. I'm beautiful.
Excuse me.
Marcus has a season pass. Nice. Oh, you are driving. Dude, get your eyes on the road.
And yet he still listens to the show. That's awesome, Mark.
That is.
Yeah, well, I don't want to listen.
No, we don't want to.
I don't want him listening to the show, from a hospital bed.
Yeah, that's where Jancy's at. He's at the hospital bed. He's in the hospital.
I'm still not gonna miss you guys.
You see that loyalty, Jay?
They're awesome.
Awesome stuff.
It's I remember I remember the first time I went down to Hilton Head, South Carolina. It was it was like mid 80s, and we drove halfway one day, then we stayed overnight, then we drove into South Carolina the next day. But you're driving down 95, and all I see is this big sign that says south of the border, so many miles of civilization. So after reading all the signs that they have for this place, you have to stop and just see what it's like. Like, you have to stop. And it was like the junk capital of the world. Pedro, south of the border.
South of the border. So you guys started to. Oh yeah, Mike, that's a cool look, dude. I like that, brother. I got my sunglasses here somewhere. I don't know.
Well, thank you, Blue. We appreciate that. Yeah, well, I think we do got a good. I think we do got a good thing going. Instead of something that we never expected. If he never thought it would branch out to this far, and yeah, it's awesome. When you're and this is like an ego kicker because like said I could be out putting gas in the car. Well, that happened once. I was coming home from work. I was putting gas in the car. And he's like, "Hey," I was yelling attention. I'm putting gas. I'm not paying attention. Excuse me, sir. So I turn around. You're that food guy. Yeah, I'm the food guy. And this was before we started doing the show. But it's like, yeah, people recognize you. I was in the mall Chinese buffet, that Royal House buffet. It's called. I think it's called. I'm sitting there. This guy, who's way older than us. He comes up. He taps me on the table. He taps because I was doing the video. He comes up. He taps me. He's like, "Hey, I watch your shows. Hey, awesome." And I had two kids. Now, when I say kids, I'm going to say maybe they were like 10 or 11 at the same day at the buffet. One comes up, he goes, "Hey, I like your chili sauce video." Shit.
I actually saw that.
And so yeah, I'm like thinking, wow, like young adults are watching, old
people like me.
Well, yeah, we're the same age, so yeah, me too. But I hear Gina.
Dude, it's awesome. I mean, social media is a powerful tool. And there's a lot of negativity on social media. Like I can't take it. Like this is positivity. You know what I mean? Like just
that's
Saturday night show.
Positive vibe. I know there's times where some people try and start to get into the politics. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Staying away from politics on this channel.
Good.
Yeah.
Smart.
I spent the latter part of my week arguing it, with a family member. So yeah, I'm happy to not talk about anything like that.
Yeah, no, and if it comes up, I'll be like, I'll squash it and be like, hey, no disrespect, but we're not talking politics here. But we'll talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. Talk about drinking, smoking. You want to talk about that? That's fine, but no politics.
Well, I try to explain it to this family member that it's like, dude, there are so many things in this world that we could talk about that are not two-party politics,
Yep. Speaking of which, you guys were talking movies earlier, right? So, any favorite horror movies? With the fall coming up, Halloween coming up, you guys have like a favorite? Like, Jay, I know you like that one, The Hearse. Is that what it's called, The Hearse?
Called The Hearse. That came out late 70s, early 80s. I think I can't remember exactly, but yeah. And that was a movie that there was no blood, no guts, no killings, but it messed with your head. It messed with your head. But I think the first horror movie I ever saw was actually, and I slept through half of it. Back in the day, remember? Well, now it's like we're
sounds scary.
Remember when they had the drive?
So scared.
Remember the drive-in? The drive-in they had up in Wilkes-Barre Township years ago.
Wilkes-Barre Drive-In.
Yeah, that's where it was. My mom, my dad, me, and I don't know if my both or one of my sisters were there. We went. It was the Amityville Horror, and
Margot Kidder is scary all on her own.
And yeah, that was my first horror film, but I fell asleep halfway through it. Remember back at like the station wagons?
Yeah.
My dad had a station wagon for a demo at one point. So I had like because I had like I was actually in the back, like I had like a pillow and like so it's like I fell asleep. But Amityville Horror was, I think, I liked.
Stop it.
Yeah, I have to say that one of my favorites was the Amityville Horror.
I grew up watching horror films.
I knew she's going to come over for this. Jack, do you want to take my place in the chair?
Why do you have to go to the bathroom?
What's your favorite one, Gina? Do you have a favorite?
I really don't have a favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, every Friday night, my parents, we'd sit down, have our chicken dinners, honey dip chicken with coleslaw and French fries, all done that day. And my dad would make us watch Pumpkinhead.
Ooh.
Never watched.
It got to the point where we knew it word for word. He would hit pause, rewind, slow motion. I missed that part. Let's watch that again.
Blue's favorite, he said it was Jeepers Creepers. I remember when Jeepers Creepers came out.
Oh, I love that one.
That's a good one.
I saw that me and my now ex-wife, we saw that when it was in the theater, in the movies, and that was messed up. And that's coming from someone who loves horror. That was messed up.
You ever see Seven?
Yeah.
Years and years ago. Yeah, years and years
That was
ago.
a good psychological one.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about, it's kind of like Seven. It was called Identity. It was with like John Cusack,
Yes.
Ray Liotta. When they're like all in that motel room, that was a
good one too.
creepy-
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Mark,
Ever.
I still have to watch Black
Want me to put
Phone.
you? So you can have the comfortable seat with your back.
You know I'd go from rags to riches if you'd only say you care.
There's so many different freaking horror films out. Like the ones today, they don't even compare.
No.
Yeah.
I remember my daughter, her favorite horror film was the one with the aliens.
Close Encounters.
No.
That's not really a horror film.
No. With I can't even think what's his name. Signs.
Like the
Signs.
That's right.
Signs with Mel Gibson and Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Now
Yeah.
I actually, my daughter's like me. If the movie doesn't have jump scares or blood in the first 5 minutes, it's no good.
Ford. Yeah.
My daughter would sit down and watch Signs. I had to buy the DVD for her. She would sit down and watch it all the way through and then start it over and watch it again. Her favorite part was the little Mexicans at their birthday party with the alien. Behind.
South America, actually.
Oh, whatever.
You get to see the creature for like a second, right? And he's
yep.
like pausing the video. Yeah.
Yep.
And Joaquin Phoenix is like, oh!
Yeah.
They're like rewinding it over and over. My favorite horror movie is, Gina's heard of it. Gina's seen it. Most people haven't. It's really obscure. It was made in Italy, and its Italian title is Dell'amore della morte. And it's a zombie movie. And there's a cemetery in this little Italian town, and the gravedigger who works there has to work full time because there are these like maca roots that bring the dead back to life. So anytime they bury somebody in the cemetery, they come back a week later.
Oh, Jesus.
He has to take a shovel to them and kill them.
Sounds like what was that one? Where
This is from like 92.
I know there was I'm blanking. The movie where Pet Cemetery. Reminds me of Pet Cemetery.
This is a little more intense. There's a lot of murder in this. Not that there isn't in Pet Cemetery. But
I'm going to give you guys my favorite horror movie. And I think it's just for like nostalgia reasons, because when it came out, I was probably in middle school. House on Haunted Hill. I know it was a remake, like there was an original one, maybe in the 70s, but the one that I'm reading my Wikipedia here came out in 99. House on Haunted Hill.
I remember seeing that or watching part of it, whether it was on Home Box or something back in the day. I remember that
Used to be
movie.
on HBO all the time.
That's probably where I
Yeah.
saw it.
Yep.
Remember when HBO back in the day was like 9 out of 10 people had it illegally?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were one of them. And all it was a little like rectangular. Oh, we lost it.
We lost Mikey.
Or Mikey.
Here
Yep,
he is.
wait. Yep, there he is.
He's back.
It's but also what was another movie I liked. The first one, the first Nightmare on Elm Street was good. The second one, not really. I didn't really like. Then you started getting more like comedy than horror.
Yeah.
Like,
they got silly.
But some of the stuff Robert Englund did, you had to laugh at. I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't horror. It was more like comedy with killings in it.
So Jay, two things. We took my dog to Posh Puppies today. I know Molly goes there, right?
Oh yeah.
My little buddy has been there a couple times, so he went for grooming today. But my wife and I were out shopping last night. We were at like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, like those places, and in the dog toy aisle, they have um like stuffed animals with squeakers in them, and it's like Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Jason, you name it. So like if you're looking for like a Halloween dog toy for Molly,
there you go.
get up to like TJ Maxx. They're really funny, dude. They're like, I mean, like, some like they have some for like bigger dogs. I have a Shih Tzu, so like we get him like little smaller toys. We were gonna get him Chucky. But...
That's Mr. Jingles. He's a Shih Tzu / poodle.
Oh yeah, Mr. Jingles. How's he doing? How's Jingles?
He's good. He's good.
He's a cutie.
It's classic though, because like Molly like literally could like jump over him. Molly could actually sit on him if she knew she can do it.
Yeah,
it's hysterical.
What's Mike got there? Superman. Oh, I see. Cool.
I'm trying
Blu-ray.
Oh.
Nice. Very cool.
Greatest horror film when I was growing up was The Blob. Mark was talking about The Blob with Steve McQueen was he like the greatest when he was growing up. Child's Play, the first one wasn't bad, but then it started getting stupid. Same with like Friday the 13th. Like Friday the 13th was awesome. But then part 2, 3 started getting stupid. Like you can only kill Jason so many times in so many ways.
Yeah.
Speaking about a freaky messed up movie, Saw.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's worse, the people that go to see the Saw movies, or the actual person that like made and thought of these ways to kill people.
Yeah, to like torture people. Yeah.
Like, which is worse?
Someone with a very sick mind.
Yeah.
Either way.
I forget which one it was, but I was watching a clip where the girl had to jump into a pit full of needles to get a key or something. And like she's coming out, she's all stuck. I'm like, oh Jesus God.
Yeah.
You know what movie I never watched because I never was able to find it. Was it called The Centipede? I think
Human Centipede.
Human Centipede.
Human
Yeah,
Centipede.
I've never saw that home. I've seen little bits and pieces, like clips on
Yeah.
YouTube, and that looked deranged too. Like,
Yeah.
who the hell would want to sew your mouth to someone's ass?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, you know? And I don't get it. But
I guess just a lot of those horror movies, like they're just going for shock value, like Human Centipede, Saw, like what's the most outrageous way we could like, show violence on screen, you know? Um, yeah, I forget the director's name, but he did a movie called The Witch, which was like really no jump scares or blood or gore, really, maybe a little, but that was a good one. He did The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and the guy from Twilight, same director.
I have to say, one of the best comedies though of the '80s, I have to say, was DC Cab.
DC Cab.
That was
That was a that was an '80s comedy.
yeah. It had Gary Busey, Mr.
Oh,
T, um, Paul Rodriguez, and they were all part of this really like rundown like Adam Baldwin played in it, like rundown cab company that was just like a shit show. But
yeah,
at the end, they saved the day. Two kids got kidnapped. Like they got the kidnap, like they saved the day and everything. But it was just Gary Busey in this thing was hysterical. Like,
yeah. He's so funny. Yeah, you
and
guys remember? I don't know if this was '80s or '90s. Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. They're like two garbage men,
no, I
and they
never saw
find a,
that, and no, I never saw that one.
two like burnout like garbage men, and they find a dead body in the trash, and like this whole saga ensues. Men at Work.
But it was
Mike, I think you're muted, dude. We can't hear you. I can see you talking, but we can't hear you. Jay, could you hear Mike?
no, can't hear you,
We can
Mike.
see you, Mike. We just can't hear you, dude.
No sound for you. It's in. Did you ever see DC Cab?
No, I wrote that one down though. I definitely want to watch that because like anything with Gary Busey, I mean, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, Mike. We still can't hear you. You know what happened?
DC
It's
Cab.
part like towards the end. In the movie, Gary Busey was his character. Is he? There he is. Can't hear you. You were fine before that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's
I don't know.
like Gary Busey's character was a big Elvis fan, so they're getting ready like like turn like repaint and like clean up everything, and Gary Busey's like, hold it, let me get one thing straight because I'm walking or I'll walk too. I don't work on January 8th because that's Elvis's birthday, and everybody's like, it just It's stupid, but Gary Busey, you have to watch it. It's just funny.
I'm gonna check that out.
Can you hear me yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, we
thank
can hear
God.
you.
This happened to me once before. I basically have to go in and mucks around with microphones. Like I have
What a
these.
mess.
My camera has like built-in mic jacks, so I have these two. You know, they're supposed to look old, but they're not. Microphones. So I was trying to like chime in there. You guys are talking about Busey. There's a show you can get it free on YouTube. There's only one season of it. It's called I'm with Busey. And it's basically like this kid who follows Gary Busey around and allows Gary Busey to basically just abuse the living hell out of him.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Oh, dude. Sometimes if I need like a good pick me up, I'll go on YouTube and I have to watch when the kid has the earpiece in his ear and he's out on a date. And Busey is like at a table in the restaurant, like coaching him on what to say, and he just blows it. Like,
Remember, farts are love songs in reverse.
yeah, genius. Love that show. Man,
That's written on my bathroom wall, by the way. I think I was telling you guys before, like the bathroom here on the ground floor, we encourage people to like graffiti up the wall.
Oh.
So,
cool.
yeah, it's the old employee bathroom.
Oh.
I just love all the terrible advice that Busey gives him, like throughout that show. It's just that show was underrated, man.
I don't even know where it originally aired. That or one thing I love to watch is Being Bobby Brown, which is just an absolute train wreck. I remember when it was actually on television. The girl I work with told me to watch it. It's like, I hate reality TV. She's like, oh, no, you'll like this. And it's just, oh my God, like they're just so bad. Like just bad people,
Yeah.
Like how can you act like this in public? I don't know.
It was kind of around the same time I'm with Busey I think it was Comedy Central because they would air that. Comedy Central or FX, like something like that. Trigger Happy TV. Remember that? Like the British show, the guy with the giant phone. He'd be like in the library and he would like, answer the phone. He would scream into this giant phone in like a quiet area. Yeah, Trigger Happy TV.
When I think British TV and comedy, I think the young ones. I don't know if you ever heard of.
I think of Benny Hill.
I'm also a big fan of Kids in the Hall. That's Canadian, but
that's Canada though.
Remember that?
Yeah,
that's got the bacony smell of Canada all over it.
Oh yeah, that's a Canadian jam. But there's a channel. I think it's on my Amazon Fire Stick. It's just like 24/7 Kids in the Hall episodes, and I watch it like every night before I go to bed.
Wasn't Kids in the Hall, I think, on Home Box at one point?
Yeah.
Do you remember the not necessarily the news on Home Box?
I do, definitely. Stuart Pankin was in that.
Yep.
They would take like an interview with Yasser Arafat and recut it so it made it look like he was talking with his mother.
That show was the best. That show was the best.
What was that called? I gotta try to YouTube that too. Could you guys
not necessarily the news?
Oh man.
Yeah, they would take like interview. They would take like interviews, like satellite interviews with like different world leaders and stuff like that, and they'd like recut it into different things. Like I said, the one that sticks out to me was Yasser Arafat trying to cancel dinner with his mother.
Yeah, that show was the shit back in the day.
I have to check that out. So like some of the old shows didn't age well. and others are still relevant and still funny, like 30 years later.
There's a parody that came out in the late, maybe mid '80s. It was a spoof to Star Wars, and it was called Hardware Wars. And oh yeah, it is. It's on. If you search on YouTube, Hardware Wars. It came out in '78. It was a spoof to Star Wars, and it was really cheesy, but everybody watched it because it was everybody thought it was funny.
Mark, Are You Being Served is an awesome show. I worked for PBS for 3.5 years, so I got turned on to it there. I have box set upon box set of Are You Being Served. So, yes. In fact, I worked in a men's clothing store one time, and just in homage to that show, I would ask people who walked in, "Pardon me, are you being served?" So, just because that was me, I don't know. I think Gina went upstairs. She had a bottle of iced tea in her hand, and she was motioning like that. So,
Gina left us.
I believe so, yeah. Well, she didn't start with us either. She came in
Not yet.
about an hour in.
Uh,
Gina's kind of doing her own thing today. And I'm just happy to have been included in part of it. But yeah, Are You Being Served? Massively cool show. Mr. Lucas was always young Mr. Lucas was always my favorite character. Yeah, I was raised by an Anglophile too, so my mother loved British everything.
Remember Benny Hill?
Oh yeah. I was a teenager in the 80s. How could I not remember Benny Hill?
That's true. I made a Benny Hill show. Again, on HBO, that had 90% of people got for free.
When my dad grew up in the 60s, his favorite show was Gomer Pyle. So we got the Gomer Pyle DVD box set. And as a family, we used to watch that show, and it was a hilarious show.
Well, Gomer Pyle was a spinoff from the Andy Griffith Show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Andy Griffith. Yep. Yeah.
So I was never really much of a TV watcher. Like I'm 52 years old, and I never had cable television in my adult life. And I mean, you're talking like I had over-the-air TV when I was in my 20s and 30s, because it's like, well, might flood. There might be a blizzard. I'll hook up an antenna. And this is back when you could only get I lived in Mountaintop. I lived right below Penobscot Mountain. A lot of stuff would just broadcast right over me. So I didn't get very many channels, and I really didn't care. I probably watch more TV now than I ever did, and that's all streaming stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to lash out.
No,
it's cool.
I was married for a while, so I apologize a lot.
Yeah, I was too.
It's just say you're sorry over and over and over again. Say you're sorry. Learn it in other languages, lo cielo, and just figure out, disculpe, and figure out any number of ways to say you're sorry, and just sort it all out later.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
My wife and I got married during the pandemic. We had 2 weddings because of the first wedding no one could come to, because we were still in the red zone or whatever. So we had to wait a year to have our full reception. So we always say we had 2 weddings because of COVID.
Red zone. Like the 20-yard line.
The pandemic, literally, I did that year. I did 50 between me and friend of mine, we did till 52 weddings that year, that season, when the pandemic hit. Because when they shut down all the venues, everybody was like scrounging out, like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And the courthouse stopped doing weddings. I get a phone call from a guy. Can you do weddings? Yes, I can. Are you doing weddings at the pandemic? You need me, I'll be there. And he told me that, like, he talked to someone from the courthouse and they said, we're not doing any right now because of the pandemic. Go online, find an ordained minister and have them do it for you. So he's like, I'm going to have a backyard wedding. I was like, awesome, I'll be there. Between me and a friend of mine, we did 52 that season. That was nice.
I'll tell you, man, the pandemic was nothing but good for me, good to me. I closed on my building the day before lockdown. I had locked in a 3.5% rate on my mortgage. The day after it was lockdown, so I was told not to report to work for 2 weeks. So I basically got paid to move into my place. The first payment I got, I started because they started giving like the stimulus money. I used that to buy my furniture, like to buy new furniture for this place. I mean, the pandemic for me was nothing but brilliant. Like it was, one of the most positive experiences of my life. So
it helped me with weddings because I got like a whole ton of them. That's when we started working from home. So like I was saving, going back and forth to Jessup every day. I was spending like $30-$40 on gas a week.
Oh yeah, especially you got to carry that Saint around on top of your car.
Wait, the what?
The race of the Saints in Jessup. Man.
I get you.
Oh yeah, Saint Ubaldo.
Yeah, you got to throw a statue. You want to drive into Jessup, you got to throw a statue of Ubaldo on top of your car and ride around the city with it.
Dollar bills like hanging off it. Yeah,
I was dropping a good $120 a month for gas, just going back and forth to work.
I believe it. I actually went to that. Ubaldo festival one year. It was a lot of fun.
It looks like it's fun. It's like, do I want to go back to Jessup on my dad? No.
Well, I don't want to. I got my tiny little car, the little purple one that you see in some of my videos. I could basically throw that. It's like a Chevy Spark. If I can't find parking, I could literally just throw it on my back and run with it. But, God, now I forgot what the hell I was going to say. Well, okay, because that thing is like phenomenal on gas. I spend $10 a week on gas, if that. And, even with that, it's like this drive. I live in the city of Wilkes-Barre. I work in Plains, right by Geisinger. That's, there's a government facility up there. I work in that facility. And even that, that's like a 10-minute drive, and I'd rather not. I'm trying like hell to work from home right now. I work from home 2 days a week. I want to make it 5 again. I worked from home 5 days a week for 3 years. It was amazing.
Oh, I love it. As long as I'm logged in by 8 o'clock, I sleep till 7:30.
Yeah, same. I can log in between 6 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. We have a wide, we call it a flex band.
And that is a flex, let me tell you.
That's like, look at the guns. Got a flex.
Oh, for sure. The pandemic, aside from all the hardships and loss of life and all that kind of stuff. It did have some perks. And I think we're kind of at a point now where we could look back and say, this is actually maybe some of the good things that came out of that crazy time. I rescued my dog. I'm not sure if we even would have moved forward and got him if not for like the situation during the pandemic. So yeah, there's definitely some pros and cons for sure.
It's
I'm right there with you.
who's like
Just like anything else in life. Sorry.
Mark's like during the pandemic, my boss laid nobody off, so they basically did squat, and yeah, it happened too.
Yeah.
Blue wants to marry you, Jay.
Yeah, I know.
He says no homo, Jay.
It's
Jay, how about like post pandemic? Like, are you still pretty busy with weddings?
not like I was.
Gotcha.
Like last year, this year, this year I haven't been like really pushing anything. Like I said, like with working and everything else, and that could be partly my fault because I haven't been pushing it like I used to. I'm letting I'm on Google. I'm on, like if you Google simple ceremonies, it's like in the top 3 depending where you're from. So like I'm like right up there. I mean, I did about maybe 9 or 10 total.
I remember when you first started with it.
Yeah, back in 16.
I thought it was even before that.
Well, mid 2015, I started with helping another guy, and then at the end, he basically retired because of health reasons. So I kind of started doing my own thing in 16.
Okay.
And been doing it, up to today. Now I'm doing I'll get a lot of like spur of the moment, like, hey, can we do an elopement? Sure.
Well, so elopement would be spur of the moment.
Yeah.
We need to get married right now.
I've had that happen. I remember a lady calling me crying, and like I thought it was like my sister. I thought something happened to my mom because my mom was still alive back then. But I'm looking at the phone number, going, "Who's this?" So I'm like, "Ma'am, I can't understand you. Please, calm down, take a breathe, because I can't understand what you're saying." She's like, "I'm sorry, I'm just very upset." I'm like, "Okay, what kind of difference?" She goes, "Can you perform weddings?" I said, "Yes." She goes, I'm supposed to get married Saturday, but my officiant just canceled with no basically reason." I'm like, "What Saturday?" Like this like it was like Thursday, and I'm like, "Are you talking about like the Saturday in like 2 days?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so basically, went in, we saved the day, but it's I could have charged this lady $1,000, and she probably would have okay. But like, here, I'm like, here, I told her whatever price I told her.
I got married once, and it's like I felt like every time I would say to a DJ or whatever, like, "Oh, this is for a wedding," price just doubled.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, I'm going to start telling these people this is for a bar mitzvah or something, because like wedding. Oh, well, yeah. Normally for this I would charge $300, but for a wedding it's going to be $9. I mean, that's everything you get with around here anyway. But probably like that in other places too. I don't know. I don't really go other places. But
no, you're absolutely right. I mean, even in terms of like, okay, I have to rent, some tables and chairs. I'm having a cookout or something. I got to rent a tent.
Sounds like a good name for a business.
Double.
Yeah, like it would be one price, but if it's like it's for a wedding, it's like, oh, okay.
And by the way, Jay, now you said you went in there and saved the day, I got the Mighty Mouse theme stuck in my head.
Oh, here I come to save the day.
Here I come to save the day. Mighty Mouse is on his way.
I'm looking at our count. We still got a solid 10 watching us. 2 hours in. We're like literally almost 2 hours in. and that's awesome.
I agree.
Mark, I know I'm old, but All in the Family. Oh yeah, All in the Family was great. Like they could not redo that show now.
I remember Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker trying to keep a woman guest he had from sitting in his favorite chair.
The favorite chair.
By telling her that the chair had a crazy spring in the middle and that women didn't like to sit in it. Once I heard that, I mean, you're talking like I'm an 8-year-old, 9-year-old boy when I heard that. Oh my God, I lost it. And it's like, I love this show.
It's funny because who played the neighbors, but was the Jeffersons, George, the guy who played George Jefferson and Wheezy, and
Sherman Hemsley.
Yeah, and you literally have like Cal O'Connor calling Sherman like a oh no, well wait, I know you'd hear Jefferson calling him a honky and Archie back and forth. I don't know if he called him black, but I forget. But
my mother had to explain to me what a honky was when I was a kid.
But it's like they could not do a show like that in today's age. It would never fly. Just like Married with Children. They could not.
Al Bundy
do that. They would not be able to do that show now.
There's even great show. There's even movies too, like Trading Places, Blazing Saddles.
I just watched Trading Places.
Great movie.
Actually, any Mel Brooks film.
Yeah, anything Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah.
That kind of
merchandising. Where the real money from the film is made.
Do you know how I ever saw like a Spaceballs like
sequel?
Well, that
too. I did hear about a sequel.
But no, like you never saw like any like toys, anything like that?
Not outside of the movie.
Yeah, and you know why? I found out why.
Because Lucas owns the merchandising.
Yeah,
George Lucas.
Lucas said you can do it, but you can't do any merchandise. And I was like, damn. But they were. I heard one time Mel Brooks was trying to do a Spaceballs 2, but now like John Candy's dead. Who is it? Rick.
The whole cast. The whole cast is like literally like 30 years older now.
Yeah, and I think Rick Moranis like retired from acting. Like he just refuses to.
He's coming back to it a little bit. He got into his wife died, and he found himself being a single father, and he decided to prioritize raising his kids over his career, which is really admirable.
Right, but also he's Rick Moranis. He had money, so he wouldn't have to worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he had quite a few like residuals happening from his films, and but anyway, he's been getting now that his kids are grown, he's been getting here and there. He's been getting back into some different things. So yeah, he may be making. I've heard a few times now that he might be making a comeback. Like I said, the kids are grown-ups now, so he doesn't feel the obligation now. They don't really need him as much.
That's like FP. Like FP literally raises his he has 5 kids.
Wow.
And FP he raises his kids by himself. And I give FP kudos and like he when the grandmother passed away, him and his brother live in the house, but his brother does his own thing. Literally FP has 5 kids, 3 boys and 2 girls, and I'm surprised. I give him all the kudos in the world because trying to raise 5 kids by yourself. You know, the schoolwork, the everything, the whole 9 yards. Like,
Yeah.
If I had that many children, I'd move into a shoe. Marcus says he's got another hour before he has to be home, and he requests us to keep the show going. I'm totally for it, and you know, Gina's yelling at me. She wants me to come upstairs because you know the cameras are messed up. But you know, she can set up the camera. She knows how to. But yeah, Marcus, I'm all in favor of keeping the show going for you. I have to defer to the other 2 gentlemen. You know,
I'm starting a little tired, but I can still keep going a little bit.
We got to keep Marcus company on his long trip home. He's got an hour yet.
It's
well, he had an hour 10 minutes ago.
Oh. Wow.
That's still fairly close to an hour.
You guys like the You guys like the Leslie Nielsen type spoof movies, like all the Naked Gun?
I saw some. I saw the Naked Gun. I think the first one.
I like Leslie Nielsen, and don't call me Shirley.
Yes.
Did you ever see the movie The Creep Show? Creep Show.
I saw that in the theater. Actually, that was one of those ones I managed to sneak into an R movie when I was a kid.
I think Leslie?
Yes, he was.
I thought so. I thought that was him.
The one where Ted Danson gets buried up to his neck in sand.
That was Ted Danson?
Yeah, the guy who got buried up, the guy that the wife was cheating with. That was Ted Danson as a young man.
I never knew that.
It was Leslie Nielsen who, you know, wheeled the TV out and had him watching, you know, the girlfriend dying the same way he was about to die. And
yeah, I never realized that was Ted Danson.
That was Ted. That sketch. That part was Ted Nielsen. I'm sorry, Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen.
I thought Leslie Nielsen was him, but I never put 2 and 2. It was Ted Danson.
The Ledge. If you remember the pilot guy from Airplane, which I was just quoting. You know, I've got to concentrate. That guy?
Yeah. The pilot.
He was in The Ledge. He was the guy who had to walk around the building on the ledge in Creep Show. Creep Show was basically a bunch of, like, you're talking when I was a teenager, when we knew each other, like in school and everything, I was the most huge Stephen King fan in the world. I read everything of his back then, and most of those stories came from a collection of short stories called Night Shift. And so yeah, I'm actually confusing, I think, part of something that was in Creep Show that was in another film. No, I'm not. The Ledge was in Creep Show. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember. That's when they had good stuff on TV.
Well, I was in the movie theaters, man. That was, you know.
I saw that on Homebox.
I saw it at the mall. Like I said, somebody was nice enough to say that I was their little brother, and I got to go in and, you know, sit in a seat by myself and just be like, I couldn't eat the one food. My mother used to feed me Capolettis a lot when I was a kid, and after seeing the roaches, I couldn't eat the Capolettis because it just
yeah, like you're thinking, oh, roaches.
Mr. Pratt. Remember that? Mr. Pratt, and, like, you know, he was with the bug spray and all the roaches were like inside of his body. Like, they couldn't, all the roaches that were in the room, like they couldn't find any anywhere. They're all, like, as soon as they
body.
Yeah, they burst out and everything. I was an 8-year-old kid. That freaked me out like you wouldn't believe.
Mark's put another great TV show that they can't do anymore would be Sanford and Son. Yeah, they couldn't.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
So Mike, as a Stephen King fan,
okay,
did you like the It reboots? Did you like the newer
I never saw them.
movies?
Stephen King, literally, as a kid, as a reader, he lost me when he started doing stuff like The Gunslinger and the Tower. I mean, he put out the one with the dragon. Like, I had read every book up until then, and then he put out that dragon book, and it's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What?
Speaking of dragon, you know what movie I watched like in the last
Red Dragon, correct.
Remember Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon?
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon?
Yeah, it's called The Last Dragon.
You're talking the father of Motown?
I don't know. It's called
Barry Gordy was like that. He was Motown. He was, across 110th Street.
Philly Soul.
Like if you search on YouTube, it says Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. It's the name of the movie is called The Last Dragon, and it's about a young kid who's studying martial arts, and where was it? It took place in Harlem, but there was this other guy called Shonuff. He was like the bad guy, who at the end, this kid and him had the big battle, and I mean, for what it was pretty cool. Like for what it was. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize Barry Gordy got into producing films. I thought he was, basically the Jacksons and Michael Jackson's early solo career. And then pretty much anything that wasn't, oh God, I can't even think of, it's like Motown was Detroit and everything. And then I'm trying to think of the Southern sound that was Muscle Shoals.
Muscle Shoals in Alabama.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
That was like all the Booker T and the MGs, and I love old jazz, old blues, old soul music. I absolutely love it. And so when you say Barry Gordy to me, like I don't get movie producer at all in my head. I get the father of Motown.
It was funny back. Well, I was in 6th grade. Remember, like when Weird Al like became like hit the scene.
Yeah.
I remember MTV would give him like a spot and call it Al TV. He would play like the regular video, but then he would put his parody right after it.
Okay.
Is he still doing that? I don't know.
He's still around. He's still making a career out of that somehow. Like his first single he recorded in a public bathroom with an accordion. It was a takeoff of My Sharona. He did My Bologna.
I remember that song, yeah.
Because if you remember, like Late Night on right now, this is going way back. We're talking deep cut here. Dr. Demento on the radio, where Dr. Demento would play all these wacky ass tunes, and that's where Weird Al got his start. Dr. Demento liked this stuff, and he would play it, and then it started getting popular for whatever reason. Like I don't know. I mean, it's funny, kind of, but I never really. It's like, to me, it's like something like that should have been one and done as far as fame. Nice. And for the fact that he could like just take that and parlay it into an entire career and entire albums of just parodies, it's like, okay, dude, if it works for you, wonderful. But oh my God, I couldn't see something like that going much past Like a Surgeon. So,
yeah, I mean, really, like kind of what came before Weird Al, and it was like more sarcasm more than anything, was like Spinal Tap. You know how they kind of parodied like a British, heavy metal band or whatever,
When I was a kid,
But,
my friends and I thought Spinal Tap was real.
oh yeah, I mean they made you believe that they were legit. That they were like a real.
I think they did like a small tour too. Like,
Yeah.
well,
But
it's funny because at first I didn't put two and two together. Where remember Laverne and Shirley? I don't know if you if
yeah,
do you remember the show Laverne and Shirley, Fred?
Sure. Yes.
it was a spinoff of Happy Days.
Right.
I remember the intro more than anything, like the whole little jingle, and they're in the factory, like making the
The
beer bottles, whatever.
I don't know how you want to call it, but like the Lenny and Squiggy. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lenny was the dude that was the lead in Spinal Tap.
Right.
The guy who played
Yeah,
Lenny,
right.
like really played it like. And at first I didn't realize it was. I'm looking like what the heck? And because he would throw with he tried to do like the British accent, and
Hmm.
he remember when Freddie Mercury died. MTV did this concert for life.
Yeah.
Back. Well, Spinal Tap was one of the bands.
Really? I don't recall that.
Yeah, Spinal Tap was one of the bands. And, again, Lenny comes out in his Spinal Tap, character and just starts like jamming. And you would think, like, I didn't realize who it was. I thought it was a real band.
Well, they were in a sense. I mean, Christopher Guest and Harry Shearer, and I can't think of Link because you keep calling him Lenny. I can't think of his name now. But the three of them, they were legit musicians, and they knew how to play.
Right.
His name is Michael McKean.
Michael McKean.
Michael McKean. I just had to Google his name because I'm like, that guy's in so many other movies.
Oh God, yeah.
He always plays such a jerk, like in every movie.
He played in.
Watch the movie Used Cars with Kurt Russell.
Oh my God!
There you go. Yeah, it's Lenny and Squiggy because they're in there and they're kind of in their Lenny and Squiggy characters, but they're geniuses at hacking like telecommunication signals.
Yeah. So, oh my God! It's funny.
If I could put a pacemaker in this man's chest,
I could bounce it off a satellite. I don't know if you can find it on YouTube. But if you can find that movie Used Cars, watch it. You will laugh your ass off.
I'll write that down too.
Kurt Russell plays a
used car salesman.
But he's like in the beginning, they show the car where he's like spinning back the odometer. And
using chewing gum to hold a bumper on.
Yeah, like he'll back the odometer, put low mileage. Size is low mileage.
Total shyster.
Yeah, it was. And who was the guy who played the
Royal Fuchs? He actually played the two brothers. Because there was like competing car lots, and two brothers owned them, and one brother would inherit the other brother's car lot if one died.
Like you had the one lot where it was like the high end like Mercedes and Cadillac. Then you had the brother who had like the shit bombs, and the guy the quote unquote brother who had the high end lot was always trying to get the other one's lot. He wanted to swindle his brother out of his lot, and you had the one character he played like dies, but Kurt Russell. There was three of them. There was Kurt Russell, another guy, and then there was a black guy who played the mechanic. But the other character, he had this thing about the color red, like he would freak out. He
would not drive a red car. He was like extremely superstitious and felt red cars were bad luck.
Yeah, and like they hacked twice. They did these ads. The first ad,
They hacked the president's State of the Union speech.
That was the second one. The first one was a football game.
It was the Super Bowl, the first one then.
And they popped the. He's like, oh, they popped the hood on the car, and it gets this girl's dress, and like her boobs are showing, and it was just like.
The best was when the guy was Wild Bill Hickok.
Oh yeah.
And he's like walking around with a 6-shooter. He's like, $5,000. That's just too fucking high. Boom. He blew out the engine block, but it was the brother, like the competing car lot, that they were like blowing up their cars and stuff for, effect.
But yeah,
it's an absolutely brilliant film.
It is.
I gotta check it out. I hope it's on.
If you can get it with there's a commentary with the director and Kurt Russell. Their commentary is absolutely hilarious. If you could find it even like on DVD, or you can get it, say, like on Fandango or something.
It's like, and who's the girl that I can't remember.
Oh, and Mark, sorry, I was a Howard Stern fan. Yes, and I agree. Until he went to Sirius XM, because the funniest thing about Stern, and I can't remember who said it, but they were totally right. You cannot have good comedy without a threat. I think it actually might have been one of the people from Are You Being Served who said that. But you need a threat to have good comedy. So with Stern, you always had the threat of the FCC. No, we can't say this. We can't do this. It's the screw the FCC. We're going to, and that was what made it funny. Now that he can say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, it's not, it's like, well, where's the fun now?
Do you remember before he went to Sirius, there was it 97.9 at one point or 95.7? It was a comedy. It was like a comedy channel. It had Howard Stern in the morning. It had like other like shock jocks and
like Imus and stuff
But it was like Mike was saying, like, oh, we can't do this because we're gonna do it anyway. Like
that threat of danger was like removed when he went on to satellite radio and where he could say
anything.
Yeah,
because it's a paid format. So yeah, it's like HBO or Cinemax. You can say whatever you want. You can pretty much do whatever you want within reason. And so where's the threat? Where's who's going to pull them off the air? Who's going to find them?
There's a guy down south that was actually like in the early years. Him and Stern butted heads a lot, but
Imus.
No.
Don Imus.
Imus, yeah, too. But another one, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Like or like down Florida way. But then when Howard got the Sirius, Bubba the Love Sponge went on his on Sirius. I don't know what happened to him now, but there was two guys named Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
And they had this thing called Whip It Out Wednesday. And you'd get wow stickers, like, so basically, like, if a girl saw the wow, she'd flash the guy or something. It was like this whole thing, but they got kicked out there because they had a contest, and you and your partner had to do it at each location, and one of the locations was a church, and that got them kicked off the air. Scavenger hunt deal.
Me personally, like the best part of the Stern show. I have Sirius, but I don't get his channel anymore because I like downgraded my Sirius account. I called them and I was like,
"Did he retire?"
Yeah. No, he's still going. Yeah, he's still
Stuttering
going.
John. Actually, believe it or not, the true story. I'm gonna go Joe Biden here and say true story. I actually met Stuttering John at Jitterbugs in Kingston or in Edwardsville. Sorry, Stuttering John had a band, and he would tour like the Northeast and stuff.
Really?
And yeah, he fronted a band while he was on Stern. And Stuttering John actually played Jitterbugs. And I don't know if you remember Brian Carolinus. Everybody called him Flea.
Yeah.
Flea and I were great drinking buddies back when we were in our early 20s. And we got to see Stuttering John at Jitterbugs. We were like the two rowdiest and the two loudest guys in the bar that night. And we ended up, he took a liking to us. We ended up drinking with him after hours. Like we were in there till like 5 the sun was coming up, and we were drinking with Stuttering John. And it was one of the most fun nights of my life. The guy's hilarious.
Stuttering John. Wait, there was Stuttering John, and then there was John the Stutter, wasn't it? Wasn't there two Johns?
Not that I recall.
Maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah, there was someone else, Jay. And I think he might have passed away. The other guy, I think, might have died, if I'm thinking correctly.
I remember Stuttering John ended up on like the Tonight Show with Leno. Like he would go out in the audience and do like, hold the microphone in front of people and stuff.
Also, who's from the Stern Show? It was one of the Whack Pack people, one of the Whack Pack guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Hank the Drunken Dwarf. He was hysterical.
I remember, yeah. Yeah, he died.
Oh, yeah, he died.
I mean, he was barely hanging on to life back then. He had so many health problems.
Stern put him in was it a baby suit or like a bunny outfit or some shit, and it was just hysterical. Like, I know they call them, they call themselves the Whack Pack.
Yeah, the Whack Pack. Yeah, I'm looking at the list of deceased Whack Pack members. So John the Stutterer passed away. Stuttering John is still alive. But the other guy was John the Stutterer.
I don't remember Eric the Midget. I don't remember him.
Yeah, Eric the actor. He was hilarious. Marianne from Brooklyn.
Baba
Medicated
Booey.
Pete. Gary Delabate.
He was like he was the producer, right? Baba Booey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still is. Yep.
He always reminded me of Oates from Hall & Oates.
Oh,
Baba. He's got the same mustache. And,
same hair.
Yeah. Yeah, Fred Norris. He, as far as I know, he's still with Howard too. I'm looking at Mark's comment here. He says he likes Fred Norris.
He's a good writer.
He's good. He's funny.
But yeah, like I said, when he left regular radio, and the FCC was no longer a threat. And that was another thing too. If you notice, like his wife, Howard Stern's wife was always like a huge threat. It's like, oh my God, what if his wife is listening? And you notice that after he got divorced, he got married like that. Like he got married, and I'm sure that's a big reason why, because that was another threat aspect to his comedy. Was, oh my God, what if Howard's wife is listening? What if Howard's wife finds out? So, yeah, he kind of needs that for his act.
Yeah, but when he went to Sirius, all that was gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, the wife aspect is still there, but at the same time, it's not. The FCC was the big threat,
right? And now that the FCC can't touch him now because he's on
a paid network, and I don't know, it's just not funny. I wish it were.
I wish Howard Stern stayed on regular radio.
Well, actually, from what I remember, he actually got pulled.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like he got fined so much by the FCC, like no one would hire him, and that kind of thing. He had to go to Sirius.
Yeah, he had like no other options, so that was like his no holds barred kind of opportunity. Come to satellite radio and like you're free. You can pretty much you don't have the FCC like looming over your every word and stuff. Like, yeah, that's an interesting perspective that you guys brought into this because I listened to Howard for a good number of years. 'Cause I've had Sirius for a while, but like I said, I don't have his channel anymore. I asked for like a cheaper subscription and I lost his channel, so I've been out of the loop with him for like a year.
I haven't listened to Howard Stern probably like since like the 90s or something.
Yeah, same. When back in the day when I worked for the car lot, and one of the cars would have an active Sirius radio, I'd listen to him going down to Mannheim and back. So I'd take that car. And it was nice because I didn't have to worry about trying to find radio channels. I just put Sirius and all the way down I went.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good stuff on Sirius. A lot of variety. That's for sure.
I've never had it.
Yeah,
I have a friend who swear he loves Ozzy's Boneyard. He listens to that all the time.
That's a good channel. Yeah. Steven Van Zandt. He's got the Underground Garage. He plays a lot of like, stuff you just never heard of before. Really cool. A lot of like garage rock kind of stuff. Yeah, it's cool. But dude, honestly, like when I bought my truck a few years ago, I got Sirius, and then I think I paid like $6 a month or something. Like I called and I just asked for like the cheapest subscription, and it was like 6 and change every month. So like it's not too bad. There's a ton of variety.
I'm trying to figure out how to participate in like the scrolling chat on the side.
So, dude, you know what I did?
On the bottom, it should say, you see where it says type a message on the bottom of the chat.
Yeah. I got to scroll all the way to the bottom?
No. Like at the bottom, like, no, you don't have to scroll, but down underneath the chat, there should say type a message.
See, all I have, it says private chat.
Yeah, that's what I have too, Mike. I have the same thing. So, like tonight I'm on my laptop. So what I did was like I have the live going on YouTube, like in one tab in my Chrome browser, and I just muted.
Oh,
I muted the live, and like that's how I'm able to like chat. Like I go into like the YouTube tab, and then I chat with people, and then I come back to a restream.
Oh, so you just muted YouTube so it doesn't. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I just muted YouTube so we're not having like echo and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'll probably sign off now. If that's cool, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, me
I hope Marcus is having an enjoyable ride home.
As soon as I learn how to use the chat, you're gonna bail.
I know, dude. Sorry,
guys. I'm
losing steam.
Yeah, me too. It's been an awesome night, guys. You're welcome to join me back next week, same time.
Same bad time. Same bad channel.
Yeah. So guys, it was a great night. Thanks for all who hung with us all this time for a good 2 hours. Literally, like, over 2 hours. No, actually, 3. Yeah, 3. We still have a good night. So thanks, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging with me tonight in FP's absence. Again, like I said, next week, you're welcome to come back.
It's cool. We had FP Jr.
Yeah. No relation. No relation to FP, the real FP. I'm just FP like some other FP. So
FP the second.
FP the second. But yeah, happy to be with you guys tonight.
Have a
So
great night. Thanks
peace and
for
love.
We're out.